And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition of the SEL King of the Hill number 3. I'm of course your VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, welcome one and all. Whew, I did barely wake up in time. Again, we were live earlier this morning, a couple of hours ago, with the Hatchery Cup, and now we are back with the StarCraft Evolution League King of the Hill. Let's go. Let us go. For those that are curious, for those who are just now tuning in, this is of course not typically StarCraft 2, not your typical StarCraft 2. This is StarCraft Evolution. This is a blend, a merging between StarCraft 2 and as well Brood War. They do come together in one here in StarCraft Evolution. This is a King of the Hill style format, pure best of ones. Best of ones are ahead of us, and we are jumping into our first game of the broadcast. As spawning in the top right hand corner of near Arcaner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the SC2 Zerg. Representing Team Hyper 1, it is threepoint. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, bottom right-hand corner, we have the Brood War Terran player, the Red Terran from South Korea. Representing Team Hyper 1 as well, it is HonMonO. And as we settle into this, if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into Neo Arcaner for the very first time. I have no idea what I'm stepping into, and I will very quickly try to set up the player names just to make things a little bit more clear. Bam, there we go. We have threepoint and we have HonMonO as well. Bam, beautiful. Okay, we have our two players, we have our two setup here, our double setup here, and oh god damn it, I messed it up. The other way around. Hold on. Bam, there we go. We have 3 points, and we have HonMonO. Okay, we are going to be settling in. Now, for those that are curious, we are going to be featuring some brand new maps today. I say brand new, really they're like 10 years old. Over 10 years old even. So these are some older maps, but they just got ported. They are fresh off the presses here. They just got ported over into StarCraft 2, into StarCraft Evolution, and we'll see how these maps turn out. So welcome to Neo Arcaner. This is a 4-player spawn map, top right, top left, and bottom right. You can see that the threepoint is searching for his opponent. Very large map as well, I'm just noticing. So we have a large map, we have a very large main base, bear that in mind. We actually have mineral wall coming down to the right hand side, so a very thin mineral wall here on the right hand side to expand and get a pocket expansion. I say a pocket base, it is walled off here by these minerals, that is true, but there's a cliff face here, a very abusable cliff face for that pocket expansion. I can see tank lines, I can see just range base units punishing this location, so bear that in mind. Likewise, we do have the natural. The natural is a little bit more secure. I say a little bit. This alcove here in the main base is a little bit far to the right hand side, so defensive high ground tanks are not going to be as effective to cover the entirety of the low ground. Here when it comes to the low ground, it is a little bit more open, I believe. Is that a ramp? No ramp going into natural. Instead, we have a more high ground third location towards the left hand side instead, which is looking a little bit more secure. You know, it's on the high ground, you have a ramp as well. Like, it's a more secure linear third base, at least for the time being. Meanwhile, what do we see here from HonMonO when it comes to his build? Opening up 3 racks into stim, a very potent build. Now, this build was nerfed. This build was this build has been very trendy, very popular, has been very effective, and this build has been nerfed quite a number of times actually, as boys are being pulled. Lings are trying to come in for the surround. But nice start stepping here out of HonMonO. He will lose 1 marine, but only 1 marine. Whew. Also, not even, Jesus. Yeah, 8 lings go down, and HonMonO, he doesn't lose anything. Yeah, very nice defensive fire by HonMonO. Scan into the main base. Threepoint, he is going to be reinforcing with more and more lings. Threepoint going for a ling flood. At least trying to go for a ling flood. He does deny mining time, but again, HonMonO, he should be safe and sound. Very nice SimCity creating a choke point. Lings, they attempt to move in, and behind this threepoint finally droning up, but he cut workers early. 21 drones for threepoint. He is behind. Yeah, very far behind here. Now threepoint is aware of the academy. He's aware of the stim. And he's forcing these early stims. He's forcing these early engagements here, but has some catching up to do. Yeah, HonMonO, he's back to mining. He does fully wall. And threepoint is deflected. Now, bear in mind that HonMonO actually, oh, he did scan. Right, the scan. Right, he did scan, is aware of his opponent's location. Behind this, Balin is on the way for 3-point. He may try to bust. For now, he's rejoining though. He's just rejoining, resaturating. And fun fact, 3-point, he's actually delaying this build. This stim timing should have already been hitting across the map. Like, this stim timing from HonMonO, it hits so fast and so hard, but because he's being forced to be more defensive, and because the medics are burning through the energy, he can't move out. And because he can't move out, 3-point, he's free to drone, and he's free to expand and take a third. So that timing from HonMonO has, in a way, come and gone. And now HonMonO is switching it up into mech. We have factories on the way. Initially, stim timing into mass mech. That is typically how things do go here in TVZ, or at least what we've seen so far when it comes to this build. It's so old, it's new again. Exactly, exactly. It's come full circle, full circle. Also, shout out to Babylings for the redeem first cracker. Also, my apologies, I didn't quite get into it, but thank you so much, Babylings, for subscribing for 35 months. I honestly can't believe it's been that long. It's so surreal. Almost 3 years. Legit, almost 3 years of support. Thank you. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Always, always. Almost 3 years. But thank you so much. Shout out to Turbo Quacker as well. I see Turbo Quacker. I see Getya. Of course, Setsuna. And 007. Thank you. Hope you're all enjoying yourselves. Hope you're all having a great weekend. Welcome, welcome one and all. Meanwhile, we do have that mech transition. Again, we do have the Vulture production on the way into Spider Mines. Likewise, we do have a third CC on location here for HonMonO. Bearing in mind that this base is a little bit more exposed in a way, like it's a quote-unquote pocket base until we get ranged units. And 3-point, he does confirm that the base is being taken. Does confirm. 3-point now taking his own third. Getting into bailing speed, getting to Bolts on Carapace. And so far, 3-point doing a great job at just containing HonMonO. Containing the Terran. Keeping him pinned. Spider-Mine's almost out. Oh. Oh, that's right though. Yeah, Lings, they do dive in. No Spider-Mines yet, but alas, they do not get this around. The Vultures do barely get away in time. Here come those Spider-Mines, and now the Vultures are safe. I should say the position is safe. Position is safe and sound. We do see the 3-point actually taking up into an infestation bit. I'm curious, is this for Lingbane into Infestor, or Lingbane into something crazy like Swarm Host, or even just into Hive Tech in towards Ultras? As they say, force friendly fire. Oh my god. They try to force friendly fire, and they do, but oh my god, it's not quite worth it. The Spider-Mines go off, and the Lings are cleaned up. Lings are cleaned up, and meanwhile, third base getting saturated now for HonMonO, throwing down double armory. Again, it was that initial stim timing into mass mech, as that's going to be 5 factories set up in the main story, 6 factories set up. It's a lot of factories. And here comes the initial wave, the initial push. 0-0 Marines, they have stim. Oh, Bailing's rolling in, decent connection, some okay connections there. Picking off some of those Marines. Likewise trying to force friendly fire. Mine shot goes off. Nice spread here from HonMonO. Does sprayed well. But he's down to only 5 Marines. And that's not enough yet. It's not going to be enough to keep on pushing. Once again, ideally, 3-point does want to force some splash damage. Some friendly fire out of these Spider Mines. Ideally. Oh! Speaking of, oh my god. The Spider Mine's doing more than the Bailings. Very nice. Nice connections. With that, 3-point does hold, and we do see HonMonO again completely switching into Vultures and tanks. Meanwhile, we were curious as to what the infestation bit was going to be for, and we have the answer. The infestation bit is going to be for the Hive Tech, as the Hive is on the way. We have confirmation. And that means this most likely is going to be for Ultra Tech, to be honest. Probably going to be Lingbane into Ultras, unless we see some other form of tech. Meanwhile, Vultures being active. Throwing down line after line of Spider Mines. Oh! Once again, trying to drag the army in. Again, these Vultures are so much more versatile than, say, Hellions, for example. Like, they're so fast, they're so quick. Trying to catch out a Queen, and they will be able to. They lock it down. Oh, Queen barely escapes. Queen does escape. Once again, oh my god. You see HonMonO trying to bait 3-point in. Hive is almost done, getting into +1 at melee. To +1. Likewise, we have 1/1 upgrades on the way for HonMonO. There's that Ultra Cavern that we did mention. Again, Lingbane into Ultra. Not bad. Like this does make this interaction so much more intense than Widow Mines. For those that watch and play StarCraft, you'll know that Widow Mines, I keep saying the wrong one. Widow Mines take a lot longer to trigger. Spider Mines are a lot more faster to just like unbow and to chase. So oh god, oh, Jesus. So these connections are just so much faster. There's so much little time to react once the Spider Mine does unburrow. So it can be a lot more unforgiving, but it's also easier to trigger and to bait out. As when it comes to Widow Mines, you can like retarget. It takes a lot longer for the shot to actually go off, so you have more time to retarget and to for a new lock-on to be kind of claimed for a different lock-on. So it's a much more intense unit interaction, at least I feel. Which I'm not opposed to, I'll be honest. I'm not opposed to it. It allows for more friendly fire. As you see, HonMonO rotating towards the left-hand side, moving in for harass. At the same time, we do see... Oh my god. There we go. It does turn around, does respond. It looks like it's going to be a one-way trip as the Lynx are coming from behind. And HonMonO, there's no way out of this. Oh, Spider-Mans are going off though. Despite that, the Vultures, they do pan over towards the left. Oh. Yeah, they still manage to kite decently well, and they will get away. Yeah, 3-point unable to surround. Doesn't quite pull it off. Without HonMonO, he slips away, jeez. Does slip away. And back home, he's building up his tank. And oh my god, that's a lot of tanks. It's a massive amount of tanks, a couple of Goliaths. Jesus, the Vultures, they came out on top. Oh! When it comes to the vision, the Vultures, they haven't seen the natural, so the Lingbane into Ultra has yet to be really confirmed. HonMonO is still in the dark. For all HonMonO knows, this could be Lingbane into Muta, true. I mean, that's why he's making safety Goliaths. Just to ensure that isn't the case, or he has something to deal with that. Yeah, Blind Valkyrie on the way as well, so you can see that he's just getting ready for anti-air. But the Ultras are about to reveal themselves. We even have a Nidus on the way. Interesting. Meanwhile, late reactions here from 3-point as these Vultures are getting a lot done. And finally, two of them going to be going down. Lings, they try to punish. Oh! See, there's that friendly fire. 2 more Vultures fall. At the same time, we did have a bit of a Ling run by here. 9 SCV kills, not bad. 9 SCVs. Likewise, the mass tank getting in position. That's a lot of tanks. When it comes to 3-points composition, going Lingbane Ultra is good. Lingbane Ultra Viper would be better. The reasoning for this, of course, as you can see, is these massive siege lines. Vipers will do so well. Yes, there is going to be anti-air, but Goliaths are most likely going to be in the back line. And likewise, there's only a couple of Valkyries as well, so there's plenty of potential. Meanwhile, Nidus does finish. Oh my god! And Nidus does complete. Ultras, they bust into the main. They're fighting with the Goliaths of all things. They can trade well. At the same time, Lings, they do hit the 4th, and HonMonO is being pulled apart. Yeah, Ultras, they wreak havoc in the main. They catch out some free tanks here in the center. Tanks are unsieged. Who needs blinding clouds when the tanks, they just get caught like this? Ooh, and all the tanks are going down, and in one fell swoop, is that just game? I mean, the tanks, they race back into the main. SCVs, they try to escape. That's 14. Oh no, they're coming into another Ultra. No, not like this. Oh my god. Massive connections, massive swipes, 22 SCV kills, and 3-point. He will pull HonMonO apart. GG. Oh my. I do apologize. I mean, I assumed he was going to be tapping out there, but I mean, this is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. It's getting out of control. I'm sure Hyper One will translate. At least I hope he will. I don't know if we want him to translate as HonMonO. He's known for getting a little bit upset. Ah, no. Let's have a look. What happened? I don't know. He said something about his tanks, is what I will say. Something. No. Meanwhile, he unsieges. He just sends everything across the map. He just sends everything across the map. It's all or nothing. I mean, HonMonO is all in. HonMonO is all in. The ultras, they collapsed in. The tanks, they are not able to siege up. And the ultras will overwhelm. They'll just overwhelm. There is no siege. And with that, no. Everything will be cleaned up. Everything will go down. I'm opening a mic glue. Blame Hyper. Blame Hyper 1. GG. As again, HonMonO one slip up, he missed the Nidus Swarm in the main base, and without spotting that Nidus, I mean, that was game. That was game then and there, as it was torn apart. The mech army is just so immobile, so slow, and HonMonO, he wasn't quite able to respond, he wasn't quite able to react. Everything did crumble around him. In a head-on fight, I was favoring HonMonO. He was getting to science vessels with Irradiate, he was building up his tank count, but again, he never got to engage sieged up, and that's the power of the tank, is a siege unit, of course, is being able to have these massive lines of tanks and these massive siege lines specifically, and that never came into play despite having so many tanks. I feel like HonMonO in that game kind of almost in a way did a disservice to what mech can look like, because he never really got into his main fight. The vultures were doing an amazing job harassing. He was killing drones, he was trading well against lings, he was catching queens. Like, the vulture harass was solid, but when it came to the main fight, it never really happened. We never saw a main fight. We saw all the tanks collide with the ultras towards the end, but again, like, that wasn't really what we were looking for. That wasn't really what even HonMonO was hoping for either. He was kind of forced into the all-in because he had to race back home. I think this also once again emphasizes one of the big weak points of not just Brood War Terran, but the Brood War races in general. We do bring this up. We do bring this up all the time. But what I'm getting at here, as of course 3-point does take the win, but what we're getting at is just how immobile the army is, right? Just because there's no like medevac boost, for example, there's no sensor towers. That's another big one. When I say immobile, it's not just about immobility, but having ways to scout and to react and to respond in time. Sensor towers, of course, they aren't a thing in Brood War, so you have less opportunities, or I should say, it's a lot more unforgiving if you don't react in time, if you don't see something like a Nidus, or like even like set aside Nidus Swarm, imagine like a Doom Drop, right? Like Mass Drop or Doom Drop instead. Pick your poison, right? It's like something that does catch him unaware, something that catches him out of position is that much more brutal here. In ZVT and in general, I would say against most Brood War races, whether it's Brood War Terran, Brood War Protoss, and Brood War Zerg as well. But with that, 3-point will take the first win, and now we're getting ready for game number 2. Here we go. The ultras may die at HonMonO. Oh no. Oh no. But with that, GG well played. As a reminder, this is a best of 1, and 3-point is now our new King of the Hill. GG well played. We have our new King of the Hill here. 3-point does rise, HonMonO does fall, and the question becomes, who is up next to rise to the challenge to face off and face down 3-point? Well, we have the answer. We do have the answer here. We have our next competitor. It is going to be a man of the people, the man from Mexico, and I guess the Netherlands a little bit. It is uThermal. Let's go. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. uThermal, he does step into the ring. He is our new challenger. He is our would-be usurper, and I'm curious as to what he will play. Now, uThermal, as the challenger, he gets to pick. He gets to pick. He gets to decide. He gets to decide, does he play Brood War? Does he play SE2? What race does he play against 3-point? And we have confirmation. He's going for Brood War. Okay. He's going for Brood War. I believe he plays Brood War Terran. I believe if he picks SE2, he's random. If he picks Brood War, he's Terran, if I'm not mistaken. So I believe Brood War Terran or ZVT once again. uThermal, he does step up, and we'll see what kind of builds he has up his sleeve. Now, what I love about uThermal playing in StarCraft Evolution is that he does often have very unique builds, and very specific builds is maybe a better way of putting it. Very well thought out strategies as well. And we'll see. We'll see how if he's going to be able to catch 3-point with his pants down. Are the pants going to be down? Are they going to be up? We're here to find out. We're here to find out. Let's go. Hi. Oh, no. uThermal, of course, has been residing in Mexico for quite some time at this point. And we'll see. We'll see how we'll see if the NA ladder has in some way shaped him, in some way molded him into an animal, into someone that can take on a 3-point. Likewise, it isn't just going to be uThermal picking the race. And so, again, he's going to be Brood War. 3-point is going to be SE2. On top of that, what map? What map are we going to be stepping into? Because it's also going to be uThermal's map of choice. Now, there is one veto. 3-point. He gets one veto. He's going to be vetoing R-point. And on top of that, so we get one veto out of 3-point, and we do exclude the map that we just played on. So we just played on near Arcaner. So no near Arcaner, no R-point, but every other map is available here for uThermal. What's he been cooking, Pappy? What's he been cooking? Let's go. uThermal is one of the early developers of the early Rexton builds, at least formalizing it and talking about it. Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, again, like uThermal, he does often kind of explore things, and he puts a lot of thought into these builds, and you know, maybe they were more refined thereafter by some of the other players, but you know, uThermal, he was said pioneer, if you will. And we'll see as, oh, we do have another map being chosen. Right now, uThermal, he is asking about the maps. The reasoning why, if you're curious, is because, as I mentioned before, this tournament is going to be featuring new maps. New old maps, if you will. New ported maps from Brood War. They have yet to be really thrown into the online tournament scene and online tournament circuit. They're being tested here in StarCraft Evolution, in the King of the Hill. So we have our guinea pigs, and it looks like we have our answer here. Our next map is going to be Death Valley. Okay, I've never cast on Death Valley. Again, for the first time in King of the Hill, in the SEL, we have Death Valley. Let's actually look this up. Death Valley. Wikipedia. Death Valley Brood War. Oh my god, this is very bright. This was a map. Oh, this is a more modern map. Okay. So, Brood War, of course, has been around for a very, very long time. That is true. But, as you know, I'm sure, ASL and more modern Brood War tournaments and more modern Brood War maps have been made and implemented, and it looks like Death Valley is actually a map from this year, from 2025, from the most recent season of ASL. So this is a new Brood War map. Okay, let's go. Very often we do port maps from like 2020, so like from like 2003, 2005, 2008. Very often we port maps from way back when. But it looks like this is a newer map instead. Let's go. Hail from Brazil. Oh, fala galera, papi. Bom dia, bom dia. Oh, I guess it's evening for you. But good to see you. Hope you're doing well, Leonardo. I remember Arto's talking about this map. He doesn't like it. Oh no. Well, we'll find out if we like it as we step into the ring here, as I load into Death Valley, and spawning in the top left hand corner. Oh. In the top left hand corner of Death Valley. God, I have to change the name again. Here we go. In the top left hand corner, we have our blue Zerg player. Our blue Zerg representing Team Hyper 1. It is a 3-point. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the Brood War Terran player, the red Terran from the land of the Netherlands, living in the land of Mexico. It is uThermal. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our second best of one. 3-point is the King of the Hill, and uThermal is the new would-be usurper. As once again, we have a simulators here at the Natural, just like Troy, if you recall. We do have simulators. For those that are curious, the way that this mechanic works, as we open up on one base, going for the initial 2 Raxes, might throw down the 3rd Rax into a stim timing from the side of uThermal, but there is a lot to get into. So first things first. first. We have our simulators here. Now, the way that this works in Brood War is that the gas geysers underneath, their model is larger than the model of the assimilator. So when you destroy an assimilator, it actually walls this area off. When you destroy both, so that will wall this area off completely. Very similar to Troy, which is another map in the previous map pool. So you can wall this area off. Meanwhile, we do have this northern natural base, which is pretty secure actually. As opposed, we actually have quite a long choke point here moving out into the open, where typically this wouldn't necessarily be the case. Likewise, we do have this ravine here as well that also actually kind of protects this area from like siege positions or siege tanks. Interesting location here, but actually there's a cliff face on the right, which I guess can be utilized. Very interesting terrain here outside of the natural, leading up into the northern bases. Meanwhile, this is, I believe, a 2-player spawn map, a very large map actually, very large map, very long rush distance by ground. Meanwhile, when it comes to the southern base, actually walled in by minerals. Interesting. So threepoint does mine through those mineral patches, will expand towards the south side. uThermal will confirm said expansion, and depending on how you expand and whether or not you mine through these minerals, looks like you do gain access to different halves of the map. We have the Zelnaga tower in the center. I wonder if Zelnagas were a thing in Brood War. Curious. Once again, interesting terrain here outside of the Zelnaga tower as well. When it comes to our 3-base setup, we do have a bit of a more once again, what's with the terrain? We have like these little like outcroppings here. I'm curious what size units can actually fit on this, if any. But we do have a little bit of a more secure expansion towards the left. We have a ramp coming into it. More so than some of the other maps we've seen. We have a more exposed location here in the center of the map as well. And we're going for the stim timing? Yeah, we're going for the stim timing. So we do see uThermal moving out. Now he is expanding behind this. He's going for a delayed CC. For now, going for a 2-rank stim. The army is spotted. 3-point, he does pull back. And behind this 3-point, he's massing up Lings. But the Ling production still not really there. The Natural's quite far away. The Queens, they can't support. Queens out of position. Yeah, the Queens are out of position. The Plyo army does get into the mineral line, and drones are going down. Yeah, the Queens, they do nothing. The Queens are still here stuck at the Natural. And is that game? we are busy looking at the map. But that's 11 drone kills. 11 workers go down. That is game-ending damage. The bunker is almost done. Bunker will not complete. But again, we had 3 Queens in total, and 2 of them were doing nothing here in the defense. And alas, Overlords are going down. 11 drone kills. Denied mining. We can even hit to the mineral line from the high ground. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, we can barely hit it. Another drone goes down. Medics still full of energy. GG gets called, and that's going to be game. That's going to be game then and there. uThermal will be our new King of the Hill. GG. Ooh, GG, well played uThermal. He will pop off. Again, going for a very strong and very early stim timing, as opposed to your regular 3-vac stim timings on 2 bases. This was on 1 base. This is harder, or I should say this is more committed, this is more aggressive, this hits sooner, this hits harder. It's 2-rack stim on 1 base, and 3-point, unfortunately, maybe you could argue had the tools to defend. Again, he had 3 Queens, but again, 2 of them were at the Natural, they didn't respond, and likewise the Ling count just was not quite there for 3-point. In the end, he was overwhelmed, and uThermal is the new King of the Hill. GG. GG, well played. He is the new King of the Hill. He does rise to the top, and we'll see if he can be brought down. So far, no major win streaks from any of our players, but we have our new challenger already. It is going to be the Canadian player, the Canadian Terran player. Oh, it is going to be Greenert. Let's go. Let's go. We have a new challenger. Greenert, I should say, from Canada, has been playing a lot more StarCraft Evolution as of late, and he has chosen to play the Brood War Terran race. Let's go. Let us go. So I believe because uThermal is playing SE2, I believe he picks random. Usually he does play random if he's forced to play SE2, so we'll see if that is the case here for uThermal. Oh boy. Is there a mischance to hit in StarCraft Evolution for ramps? Yes. It is for points of elevation, so not just ramps, but if you're on the high ground, then you have there is a chance to miss when you shoot up into the high ground. Likewise, when it comes to shrubbery as well, so steam vents or tall grass or things that would obscure vision, there's also mischance shooting into those areas. But that is relatively new. It was not there since the inception of StarCraft Evolution. That was patched in like at the start of the year. Like I'm thinking like December, January sort of thing. Like I say new, but I guess we're already in April, I guess. So it's been around for a while. Crazy. I don't recall Zonaga towers even in custom maps in Brood War. Yeah, I don't recall them either. That's why I found it interesting. Let me just zoom in here. Yeah, I'm looking at the original Brood War version, and yeah, there are no Zonaga towers. Yeah, no. So it looks like the Zonaga towers are an addition to StarCraft Evolution, which makes sense. I mentioned before in Game 1, between HonMonO and threepoint, how one of the big weaknesses of Brood War right now, of the Brood War races, and it is being worked upon to be fair, but is their immobility and their reliance on map vision and scouting. I feel like the Zonaga towers are added to help support that, right? To help alleviate some of that. So now they have greater vision and greater potential for vision, greater potential for scouting as well. Meanwhile, we are jumping in, and it's actually a role reversal. Okay, uThermal is playing Terran, and GreenEarth, he is the one playing random. Let's go. Let us go. We have our next game. We're getting into match 3. And we'll see if our current king can continue his reign. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of our point, we have the current king of the... Oh, got to change up all the names and change up all the colors. God damn it. Hold on. Okay, spawning in the right-hand corner of our point, we have our teal Terran player, our teal Terran, our SE2 Terran. Whew, the current king of the hill, it is uThermal. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Brood War Protoss player, but as a reminder, he's actually Brood War random, rolling and landing on a Protoss from the land of Canada, representing Born Gosu. It is GreenEarth. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take this best of 1. As a reminder, this is a best of 1, and welcome one and all to our point. 4-player spawn map. We are checking, scouting bottom left, bottom right, top left. Any location here is possible, and GreenEarth is the first to scout. Likewise, uThermal also moves out with his SCV. Bearing in mind, uThermal has no idea what he's up against. He could be up against a Terran, a Protoss, or a Zerg. uThermal doesn't know. Oh, shout out to Logo. Shout out to the logo. As uThermal, he scouts diagonally across the map. GreenEarth scouts vertically, now moving towards the bottom right. Both players will miss each other. They will pass by one another. They don't quite get vision, not yet. Still trying to determine what's going on. We do see a single gas opener, so racks expand. Economic build here by uThermal, going for a faster Reaper. And welcome one and all to our point. I believe this is the first time I'm casting on our point. Our point is another one of the newer maps that has been ported over. And interesting cliff face here is what I will say. Is that a Reaper cliff? It has to be. Is it? Is it not? Potentially the vines here actually block the cliff face. I'm not entirely certain. But the probe is scouted. Yeah, the Reaper does scout the probe. Now he knows that, of course, it is a Brood War Protoss player. And uThermal, through the power of deduction, does confirm that the GreenEarth is top left. GreenEarth is top left. Yeah, and it looks like it is a Reaper cliff. Okay, so it looks like it is a Reaper cliff. Reaper moves in. Yeah, the Reaper can climb the vines. True. Is going to be zoned away. It's going to be zoned away. Dragoon opener here out of GreenEarth. Moves out with the Dragoon. Meanwhile, uThermal, he does slip by. Does slip in. Oh, getting a probe. Gets one probe so far. Again, Dragoon out of position. GreenEarth, he commits with the Dragoon. Does hit the natural, going for the bunker. Bunker's going to be delayed. The Reaper getting 1 probe kill so far, and just 1. Ooh, barely escapes. It does get away. Bunker not yet complete. But that's guiding from Greenert. Going for another SCV. Oh, doesn't quite get it. SCV survives. A robot follow-up here at a Greenert. Most likely going to be Dragoon into Reavers. Into Reaver drop. Oh.
Game paused.
And hopefully everything is okay. So far we're settling in. We do have a standard opener here out of uThermal. And again, a Dragoon into Reaver drop. There's that bay on the way for the shuttle, for the Reaver production. We are settling into our game so far. Nothing too crazy yet. We're getting into it. Just catching up with the chat. Oh, there we go. Looks like there was a hotkey issue. Make a negative version of Zelnaga Tower that removes vision. What does that mean? That sounds interesting, actually. Like, imagine, it wouldn't be a Zelnaga Tower. Imagine like a pressure plate that you can activate. Maybe it's got a cooldown, but what it does is that you have like all these vents. Like, imagine like a pressure plate here, like a pressure plate on top of the Evo logo, and it's surrounded by vents. And then you stand on it, and then bam, steam pops up. Like, steam pops up all over here to like obscure this vision. And you can like hide units inside it or something, or like use that to like disrupt a fight. Like that sounds, yeah, that sounds possible to do in SC2 for sure. That's crazy. As Reaper does rotate, so far 4 probes. Oh my god, 4 probes go down. Rotating into the main base, and again, the Dragoons are having a hard time keeping up. Remember, there is no blink. Another probe goes down. Ay, ay, ay. Getting up to 4, getting to 5, getting it to 6 probe kills. Where are the Dragoons? Dragoons, they just now respond. 6 workers do fall. Greenert, he's rallied across the map. Mass medic blind casted. Well, it wouldn't be like applied to units. It'd just be like stationary on the map. So you can move out of it, of course, or move into it. But that doesn't sound too out of this world, as opposed to like healing pads or neutral towers, or sorry, neutral turrets, I should say, or neutral missile turrets, or like neutral add-ons. Like, yeah, it sounds like one of those things that probably has been done, but just like, of course, like never implemented into the map pool. I'm referring to like, you know, it's not pressure plates, but they're like activated bridges where you can like extend and like invert bridges in SE2, or like lava like floating up and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it sounds possible. I don't know how viable it is, I should say. It actually reminds me, for those of you that remember, there were a couple of maps made a couple of years ago where they had I guess they were Steam events, but they had like graviton boosters, where what would happen is, I guess maybe Steam vent is maybe like an air vent is maybe a better way of putting it. But basically, there were these certain like locations, certain pads where if a unit, like say a zealot, would stand on it, they would be lifted into the air and they could attack air units. So you could like put zealots here, or put like zerglings, or like I'm thinking of other melee units. They go stand on the vent that'd be lifted into the air, and of course, like if they leave that location, they go back to the ground. They could like attack, like, you know, I don't know, like phoenixes, or attack overlords or stuff like that. Like that's a thing that exists in SE2. Meanwhile, drop into the main. 5 SV kills, not bad. My apologies, a little bit distracted. Likewise, Banshee harassing across map. Cloak is done, and do we have any detection? The answer is no. We have 0 detection here. The one Banshee is wreaking havoc. The Reaver drop moves out. Alas, all targeted on a Marine, and oh my god, shot goes off, but the Reaver goes down, and this Banshee is uncontested. So far, 20 probe kills. This one Banshee just popping off. Observer finally arrives. Second Banshee has made it in. 20 probes. We're not done. Getting to 21, almost 22. Almost 22 workers. Banshees, they pull away, they get the hell out of here, and we're going mass Banshee. We're going 2-port Banshee here, as we are committing here into hyperflight rotors. Mass Banshee on the way, just abusing the mobility here of the Banshees, of these air units. uThermal, he will take his 3rd base, moves out with his bio tank, and Greenert, he's in trouble. He's in trouble here. His economy is struggling. He's taken so many losses, down to 37 workers. And uThermal is moving in. He's moving in with everything he has. He's got how much? He's got 6 tanks, 3 Banshees, soon to be 5. We have a 3rd starport on the way, committing into just mass Banshee. Reaver Drop comes in, and the Reaver Drop is doing some damage, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, not anymore. Reaver Drop into the main. Main army's pushing forward. So far, Reaver Drop is denied. Oh, and the tank volleys are brutal here on those Dragoons. Yeah, the tank volleys are insane. Reaver doing what it can. Getting some workers, but we have defensive Banshees. Yeah, defensive Banshees back at home. Banshees across the map. And there's no dealing with this army. Like, there's no way for Greener to engage without charge. Without storm. With pure Dragoon, like, how do you push into this? You don't. Or you try and we fail here, as yeah, the army just crumbles. GG gets called. uThermal snowballs out of control, and uThermal, he will take down Greenert and maintain his position as the king of the hill. GG. GG. GG, well played, uThermal. He will claim the win. Again, Greenert, he went for a standard build going into Dragoon Reaver Drop, like that is standard. Unfortunately, he was up against something that wasn't standard. One, I mean, the initial Reaper Harass was amazing for uThermal, but the follow-up Starport Banshee was unscouted. It was unscouted, it was unseen, it got out of hand. Remember, 20 plus workers went down to the Banshee Harass. That was game-ending then and there. Unfortunately, it also made sure that the Dragoons were stuck at home. It made sure that Greenert, he couldn't be active with the Dragoons. It was stuck defensively, so he wasn't able to be active to slow down and engage with the army ahead of time. Ideally, as a Protoss player, you do want to engage and slow down the push and force the siege and pick off submarines, pick off a tank, but they were stuck at home. He saw nothing, and uThermal, he snowballed out of control. GG. GG, well played. With that, we are now getting ready for our next game. We're getting ready for our next setup here. Up next is going to be uThermal up against a Korean Protoss player. And uThermal's going to be playing Brood War. Prome steps in as the Brood War Protoss. Let's go. So, uThermal is playing SE2. Sorry, my apologies, the other way around. uThermal, he's playing Brood War, and Prome is playing SE2. As they are conducting their vetoes, and we are about to jump in. Here we go. So we are pushing forward. Interactive map mechanics sound super interesting. Not sure how pro players would like it, but as a viewer, I think it would make the meta more interesting. I mean, that's what we're already getting, right? Like, for those that don't know, the upcoming TLMC 20 map pool did feature healing pads, like healing pads now being introduced for the first time into the ladder map pool. We already have like speed zones and slow zones and Zelnaga towers. Like interactive mechanics have slowly been introduced into StarCraft 2 over years, but it's always been a slow introduction, right? Whether it's the speed and slow zones, like remember when the first speed zones were introduced? Like that was a big decisive, or that was a big deal when that happened. What was it on like Jagannatha or Death Aura? When that occurred, like when the slow zones got introduced as well, that was like a big deal. But usually there are like years in between this. It's been like a slow introduction to these sorts of like ideas. First it was only like destructible towers and rocks, then Zelnaga towers, then speed zones, slow zones, right? Goal bases. It was relatively recently that they introduced like high yield gases, right? Like high yield gas geysers, that was introduced years after high yield minerals were introduced, right? Like when it comes to the meta or StarCraft 2 meta, adopting these kind of ideas, it usually takes years for that to happen. It gets there eventually, but it did take a long time. You have to show us these float events. I can't remember the map, but I mean the VODs are on YouTube. We'll get there. As spawning in the right hand corner of Neo Arcaner, we have the Brood War Terran player from the land of the Netherlands. the current king of the hill. With 2 wins under his belt, it is uThermal. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss flavor, the red Protoss representing among SE2 people. It is Prome. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we do jump into our TVP. I will set up the colors. Another thing that they had was yes, we have speed zones, but another thing that they introduced in that Mapper's Delight was they had these booster pads. Like imagine like the graviton boosters in Halo. I don't know what they're called, but like you know how there are like these boosters that you can like step onto and they like shoot you across. There was something like that. There was something like that in the SE2 maps. So it wasn't quite a speed zone, but it was like a boost pad that like bam, it zoomed you in. It's crazy. There was that. What else was there? It's been years. There was I want to say another feature as well, which was crazy. But yeah, like these things exist like in StarCraft. But the VODs on YouTube, I believe it was Mapper's Delight. It was Mapper's Delight. That was like back in 2020, 2021. One of those 2 years that we did cast. But regardless, welcome one and all to Neo Arcaner. Once again, same build. This is my one criticism of uThermal, is that once he finds a build like this, he's very fond of it. It is going to be 2-rack stim, once again on 1 base. For those that remember, this is the same build that uThermal went for against threepoint previously on Death Valley. On Death Valley, this is the same build. It's going to be a very delayed expansion, but this hits earlier than normal because the stim is already on the way, and it's almost, I mean, again, it finishes just so quickly. Meanwhile, Prome, he is scouting. He's moving out with his probe. He is scouting top right. Remember, this is a 4-player spawn map, so he's looking for his opponent. Likewise, uThermal, he finds it. uThermal does find Prome. Marines move out. Does get scouted. Prome knows. Prome, he now knows what's going on. Going for a robo opener, a very safe opener here out of Prome. What a robo entails is that it does mean early immortal production, so very safe play here by Prome. He can chrono out that immortal once the robo is done, but is it going to be done in time? Now, something that he can do is force field. Yeah, there we go. Chrono on the sentry. 1 force field is all you need to stop this push. 1 shot, 1 kill, 1 force field. Now, ideally, you don't want to force field the entire army out. Ideally, you want to time this and force field and cut the army in half and deal with the army 1/2 at a time, or like a third at a time. As we have 6 Marines moving in, and we'll see how Prome will deal with this. As stim is done. Stim is done. Stim's in. Up! Ooh, does lock the army out. Gets 1 Marine, and uThermal backs off. Now, does defend, doesn't quite catch the army like I was saying he could, but he does at least hold on. Now the robo is finishing, there's the chrono on the immortal, and Prome holds. Prome, he holds on. If you recall, this very same push killed threepoint. It just straight up killed him. Now we have uThermal catching up, going for a CC on the low ground, and I would say that uThermal's in a bit of a rough position here. What happened so far? Well, we had early stim, early medics, big investment early on, and it doesn't really pay for itself. So far, it hasn't really achieved too much, and the command center is late now for uThermal, so he's falling behind economically. It's on uThermal to catch back up, and the transition is mech. So bio into mech here. We do not continue to invest into range upgrades for the Marines. Oh, uThermal, he can deny. Oh, he mines. He breaks through. Oh, he does break through. The boy's being pulled away. We just see Prome out of position. He does rotate in time, though. Yeah, he rotates just in time. He does have not a force field, a Guardian Shield instead. 1 Stalker goes down. Sentry as well. Whew, but good reactions out of Prome. Very good reactions. Is this 5 minerals? It's 5. That's crazy. No shot. So typically mineral walls like this, they're typically a little bit sturdier, a little bit beefier, but I didn't even notice these are 5 minerals. You can very easily mine through this. Okay, so one SCV was all he needed. Meanwhile, nice defense here on top of the ramp. Does trade well, takes down 2 stalkers, bleeds out 2 medics. But that's crazy. Jesus. At this point, I mean, is there much purpose in this gold patch if the gold patch is literally the same as the mineral patch? I mean, outside of, I guess, only a worker can fit through, but still, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, there may as well not be a wall, to be honest. Like, if it only takes one worker. Ay, ay, ay. No shot that's only one mineral patch in Brood War. Jesus. Here we go. uThermal setting up back at home. Siege mode about to finish up in 10 seconds. Perm, he has to pull away. He has to get out of here. And we do see additional bio production here from uThermal, at least currently. Does have his 3 factories set up. Still reinforcing. I assumed that it was going to be a full transition to mech, but that has not occurred yet. It's going to be more of a hybrid setup. I'm a little bit confused just because if that's the case, then it would have been worth investing into marine range as well. That's why I question this. You know, tanks to do siege up in position. Yeah, massive volleys going up on the stalkers. As we do see uThermal, he does a siege up here in the center. Does hold the line at the same time. He peels off a couple of units, going for the main base. Perm and not quite in position. Does warp in the sentry. Does notice, but it's a slow warp in, very slow warp in. The sentry will not complete. Yeah, sentry was not warped in within range of the gateways. Bio army sims into the mineral line. And uThermal, he does get some probe kills. He gets 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my god, 7 probes. 7 workers go down. Perm, thankfully, was already making his way back home. He will clean this up. That is worth it for uThermal. Now he's pushing forward. He's gaining ground, throws down a wall of bunkers. He has the high ground. Again, these high ground locations are that much more valuable here in StarCraft Evolution. Charge is done. Oh my god, no! Moves in! Oh my god, massive tank volleys. Colossus goes down, massive pickoff. Yeah, Perm, he accidentally rallied in. He was not expecting this. We have more Raxes on the way, so we are going into bio. Or we do have that kind of more hybrid composition. Bio tank. But that's still a lot of tanks. Tanks, they move in. Perm, he has an awkward setup here. He is down to 0 Colossus. But there's not that much bio here, to be fair. It is mainly tank. Again, uThermal was making 1 Marine at a time. Doesn't have the best economy. But the tank line is still looking terrifying. And we can see Perm attempting us around. Does get a tank and he has to collapse in. The left-hand flank is a little bit premature. But he will take down the tank line. Oof. Yeah, Mortal gets started down, but the Zealots, they wreak havoc, and the Zealots will clean this up completely. And again, there's no support. There's no support, the tanks go down. This was almost purely a tank army, and Zealots, they completely shut it down. Did mention before that there was no bio. There was no support. And you can see that we're trying to go into Vultures, trying to go into Spider Mines, and of course, Ion Thrusters. Despite having all these Raxes, barely any bio. And Perm holds. Whew, Perm, he does hold on. And again, uThermal, like, what did we want here? He does fully wall off, but it looks like he does want to switch into mech, but he only has 3 factories. Yeah, it's a bit of a messy setup here. Meanwhile, after the defense, Perm, he is expanding, getting another base, getting a 4th. He's got almost double the base count of uThermal. uThermal, he has yet to expand. The 3rd CC is late for uThermal. This is basically a 2-base all-in. This was basically a 2-base all-in. The all-in failed, and now uThermal's falling behind. He's falling further and further behind. The longer this game goes on, the better it is for Perm. Now going into Sky Toss. You have my attention. You have my attention here. Frame drops? Oh. Do apologize if there were any frame drops. It looks like the stream should be steady here, but yes, I did notice that previously there was like there were some frame drops occurring. I'll keep an eye on that. You know, Vultures, they get across the map, they force a recall. Getting 8 probe kills, not bad. Decent amount of damage. Perm moves out once again. uThermal switching up into mass Vulture tank. But again, still a low factory count. There we go. These factories are also a little bit late. Throwing down 5 factories. So the macro is slipping here. Also, yeah, he just... these are not SE2 depots. He has to kill them himself. So a little bit SE2 brains as he accidentally walled off. He has to bring it back down. Just so we can expand. Those are curious. Depots in Brood War, they do not lift and land, or they do not lift like lift and borrow. Job coming in. Going for a massive warp in as well. Clicking on the command center, this I'm not so sure about. Yeah, it's not going to be the best trade from Prome. Throws away all those zealots, not worth it. Gets 2 SCVs. And Prome getting a little bit too cavalier there. Meanwhile, Stargate into Fleet Peak and then Sky Toss. Sky Toss on the horizon for Prome. Meanwhile, uThermal getting into double armory, double upgrades. Seems okay. Looks like yeah. I'm looking at OBS. It only happened for a couple of seconds, but we'll keep an eye on it just in case. Should be good for now. And we do see uThermal just fully walling up, fully walling off. We've got a line of mines, line of tanks. You see Prome baiting out those spider mines. We have Massive Goliath now on the way for uThermal. 5th base for Prome. Prome, he's just taking over the map. But I would like to see like 2 more Stargates and Tempest production from Prome. As uThermal, he breaks out. Yeah, massive run by. So I'll say charge in. Prome, he will lose this Archon and Immortal. Vultures, they do get past the natural. They get past into the main. And Vultures, they bust in. The mineral line is going to go down. So saving this was the recall. Yeah, where is the recall? As we get 14 probe kills. Prome, he races back home. There is a recall available, but he chooses not to use it. And you can see just how quickly these Vultures just wreak havoc. 28 probes go down. Ay. And they're not done. They're gonna kill everything. All it takes, mate, just give uThermal 10 Vultures. 10 Vultures in a dream. Prome here extends, trying to push into that mineral line. Again, I don't think the win condition, I don't think the goal here should be for Prome to push in. It should just be to contain. And so far, he's failing to do so. 44 probe kills. Ay. The economy has been crippled. And Prome, he's not taking up. He has the Fleet Beacon just for the mothership, but he's not going into Sky Toss. He's sticking with the ground army instead. Vultures, they slip out once again. And again, Vultures, they put Hellions to shame. Like they Vultures, they just have so much more utility. Like Spider Mines, they help cover their retreats, or they help deal with any kind of gateway composition. They're so fast. Getting into mineral lines, killing probes. And Prome is down to 45 workers. Prome, he was in a commanding position, and now suddenly Prome is in trouble. He's now trying to move out, and he will run into the army. It's going to be Mass Goliath. I mean, Goliaths are pretty good, even against ground. Again, they only recently got nerfed. Only recently. I mean, I say like a couple of weeks ago. Oh! As a prison, has to be careful. Yeah, Mass Tank is moving out. uThermal, he's back in this game. He's broken out and gone to 4th. Again, Prome was in a commanding position, but not anymore. Not anymore. As we do see uThermal out of position instead. Okay. Gets a tank. Now, Prome, he still has recall available, so he can always recall back home if need be. But the Spider Mines, they buy time. They protect the natural. uThermal rotates. That's a massive amount of tanks. Once again, Vultures, they get into mineral lines. It's going to be 11 probe kills. Probes go down. Did I say 11? Up to 16. The Vulture's still alive. Oh my god, the Spider Mines! Spider Mines, they shut down the Stalkers. And this Gateway army here from Prime, it's just not scaling well. It's just not scaling well here against what he's up against. Against the Mass Tank Goliath. As long as uThermal fights within range. Does need those tanks. Thermal rotating over. You see Pro moving in, does go for the slow zone on the tanks. Oh god, the concave here of the guys are brutal, and with that Pro, he's gonna crumble. He will lose everything. Again, fighting within tank fire. He just cannot do that. Cannot pull that off. Thermal, he stutter steps in. He's going for the kill. He's going for the kill. After an intense back and forth, after Prome having and maintaining map control and having a greater economy, what brought him down? This, the Vulture run-bys. And they continue, the Vultures, they just do not stop. Oh my god, the tank boys are brutal. GG gets called, the army melts, and uThermal, he will take down Prome and maintain himself as the king of the hill. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very intense back and forth. Again, Prome, he found himself in a very strong position, able to contain uThermal, had a greater economy, had a greater tech path as well, but alas, the Vulture run-bys just tore him apart. Remember, 44 probe kills. One Vulture run-by got 44 worker kills. It was insane how much damage those Vultures dealt. I do apologize if I didn't emphasize that as much, but it was 10 Vultures. I think it was like 7 towards the main base and 3 towards the fourth, and 44 probes went down. It was crazy just how much economic damage was dealt, and that was the moment that it wasn't just that, it was of course that also forced Prome to race all the way back home, and it allowed uThermal to finally take a fourth base, to expand, get a fourth base. At the same time, Prome, he also lost his Immortals and Archons as he did try to rally into the third, and he lost everything as well, and just everything went south real fast and real quick. GG. GG, well played. Here we go. GG, well played. uThermal, he will take the win, and we're getting ready for our next matchup here. It's going to be a TVT question mark. Up next, we have ZaRDieNT stepping up. Now, I say question mark because ZaRDieNT, I believe he changes his race depending on whether he is playing Brood War or StarCraft 2. So, yet to be determined what he plays. But he will be our next challenger. Here we go. Here we go. I think Probe moved to Stormgate. Probe, he moved to IRL commitments. Like I think he did play a little bit of Stormgate, but like I don't think Probe has too much intentions to commit into like pro play. He's I think he graduated. and yeah, he's just moving on with his career. But shout out to Probe. Shout out to Probe. Here we go. IRL, never heard of that RTS. Sorry, did I say IRL? I meant to say, God, what's it called? What's the new Sim game? Sim Korean game. It's like Ilyu? Inzoi, that's it. Sorry, I meant to say Inzoi. Hi. Now you understand. He's focusing on his Inzoi character. Here we go. we're going to be hopping over. Looks like our players that were just discussing this server we're going to be playing on. Envoy, yeah, Enzo, yeah. There you go. But actually, you know what? Let me just. Someone was asking about the maps, so I'll find it for you. Was it Intergalactic Disco Slide Party? No. By Maras? Yeah. That was one of them. And the Roomba Fan Laboratory by Milo on Fire. So I believe, I could be mistaken. The reason why it's called Roomba Fan, I got you. So this is the map that has, I believe, the giant fans that lift you into the air. I believe. And the other one, the Intergalactic Disco Slide Party, is the one with the massive, like, turbo lifts. Bam. I remember when Disco Party was being made. Good times. There you go. If you missed it earlier, Avex, we were discussing. I don't know how the discussion began. Oh, you're right. It was someone was posing the idea of like an inverted Xel'Naga tower, and I posed the idea of, like, imagine like a pressure plate that you step on, and you have all these steam vents surrounding it, and it like raises the steam, right? Like so you can like create like a shroud like around an area, basically. Only temporarily, of course. Like almost like a negative Xel'Naga, and then that reminded me of like other unique features from back in the day, like the Disco Party or the Roomba Laboratory. Crazy. Good times, good times. Yeah, this was back in 2001. Sorry, 2001. 2021. 2021. I think I actually mentioned you a few weeks ago. Oh, okay. Yeah. There's a chance there'll be no more official patches, community patching coming. There's a chance. I mean, I'm still hopeful that we might get one patch before EWC, before the Esports World Cup. I'm hopeful that we can maybe like get one patch and an updated map pool before that event, but we'll see. We shall see. I think it's pure speculation. I don't think there's like necessarily anything strong leading one way or the other. Obviously, ESL did say that they were no longer going to be able to support like regular updates or regular patches. But I'm hoping we get one before EWC. As looks like we have our map. We have our setup. Looks like we're going to be loading into Blue Storm. Let's go. Blue Storm is coming up next. Shakuris Legacy. What am I looking at? Jesus. But yeah, there were a bunch of these maps that I never got to cast on. I only casted a couple of them. Not all of them. Because the event was relatively short, if I remember correctly. It's a shorter event. Oh, but here we go. Here we go. We do have our players, and it is going to be a TVT. Okay. So Terran versus Terran. Again, we are halfway through the broadcast. It's going to be 10 best of ones in total, and we are now in our 5th match. Now in our 5th match. So again, do apologize for some of the downtime here, but now we can jump in. We can jump in. The show will continue. As so far, Mark, he is... Does he have like a 3-game win streak? Hold on, let me just double check. Let me double check. Yeah, so far, 3-game win streak, and now we're loading into game number 5, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of a Blue Storm, we have our yellow Terran player. God damn, change it all again. We have our yellow Terran player, our SC2 Terran. Representing Hokago T-Team, it is ZaRDieNT. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player, the Brutal Terran from land of the Netherlands. It is uThermal. Hold on, I'll change the colors. I got you. Okay, close enough. And and if you're in the chats, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chat. Of course, uThermal is going to be he's going for the same build. Again, the same build in every single matchup. We saw this opener against Protoss, against Prome, which was not as successful. We saw this against threepoint, and now we're seeing this against ZaRDieNT as well. This is going to be 1 base, 2 rack stim. 2 rack stim here from uThermal, going for a very delayed natural expansion. Meanwhile, ZaRDieNT back at home, going for a double gas opener. Safe start here from ZaRDieNT. Let's go. It is going for a safe start. With this faster factory, faster Hellion production as well. And we'll see if Mark can get much done with this. I'll be honest, I don't see this being too successful, especially up against a high Hellion count. Against a high Reaper Hellion count, I do see ZaRDieNT overwhelming this, but we'll see. As uThermal, he does move out with his SCV Scout. And of course, welcome one and all to Blue Storm. The nostalgia is real on this one. For me, I should say, personally. Fond memories of this. We do see uThermal attempting a scout. Looks like he hasn't experienced this map before. Look. It does rotate back over towards the natural. Meanwhile, initially, Reaper Hellion is on the way. Stim is under production here for uThermal as well. Oh, does keep his SCV hidden. Does keep it back. And of course, one of the big features of this map is, one, you can knock down these towers here outside of the natural, but also the entrance to the natural is very narrow choke point here at the natural base. Very difficult to break through. SCV goes down, does confirm the double gas, does confirm the delayed TC, and uThermal, does he commit? He will. Yeah, he still moves out. Again, it's going to be that 2x timing, delayed TC by uThermal, does move out across the map. And he is about to run into those Reapers. Who shoots first? Oh. Yeah, ZaRDieNT is scouting, he's checking. Did get eyes on the Marines. Yeah, he's aware. Trying to slow it down. Ideally trying to force out a stim. Yeah, just buying time, building up more Reapers, building up more Hellions. So we have a bit of an awkward setup here. ZaRDieNT does rotate uThermal. He's going to try to go through the choke points. Uh-oh. Yeah, he does commit in. Does go for the stim. ZaRDieNT out of position. Yeah, SCV goes down. Nice pick up here by uThermal. With the help of the KDA charges, yeah, the Marines, they do line up. Massive volleys go off. There's 2 Marines left. And with that, ZaRDieNT holds. ZaRDieNT does hold. His CC is delayed, though, and he does not restart it. There we go, just now pulling some of the boys. Oof. Meanwhile, he does overextend. Pleased out 2 Reapers. Ay, ay, ay. And 2 Reapers go down. No kiting. He doesn't kite back with the Hellion. And uThermal's getting more damage than he should have. He does reinforce, does find more damage. ZaRDieNT, now he's in trouble. And that should not have happened. But he was just a little bit too inattentive. The initial hold was solid, but alas, yeah, it did fall apart. And we just see uThermal just rallies. He just rallies across the map, and now getting his own natural up and running. Going to be saturating. ZaRDieNT trying to rebuild. He's only got 1 Hellion, and this might just be too much, actually. Can we get it up to 3? 3 Hellions have arrived. They can one-shot Marines. They can one-shot. There we go. Cleans up all the bio. Catches out the medics. And this time he doesn't chase. This time he does not chase. This time he's being a little bit more careful. But that's only after his losses. And as we settle into this, I mean, uThermal's not in a bad position. uThermal, he's up in SCVs, he's been freely mining from the natural, behind this, switching it up into mech, going into mass vulture. So a very nice, a cleaner transition here by uThermal. And again, ZaRDieNT initially had a solid hold, but it all just fell apart. And uThermal looking strong, looking good. So far, Hellions, they catch out the Vultures. They get 1, not bad. They get 1, they get 2. And Vultures did line up, and with that, the Hellions, they will clean up all the Vultures. Whew, just barely. It's going to be Battle Mech versus a Brood War Mech. Let's go. Cyclones coming in. They get the lock on. And the Cyclones will shut this down. Oh my god, his lock on gets broken. Gee, the Vultures, they're so fast. They're speedy boys. The Mind Shot. Nice splits. Yeah, very nice splits out of uThermal. He avoids the mines. Very nice control. Normal Cyclones picking up the medic. Once again, has to kite back. Please out the Hellions. Class now online. I'm really concerned here with ZaRDieNT just because his overall his army size is quite low. He keeps leading out more Hellions, more Cyclones. Speaking of, another Cyclone does go down. Catch up the Vultures though. Nice kiting. Nice control. Getting his 3rd. Whew. Okay, we're settling down. Now we can just calm things down. ZaRDieNT, he maintains map control. He gets his 3rd base. He's getting into the rest of his production. We're getting into a 5 factory setup. Meanwhile, across the map, uThermal, what do we have to work with here? Going into Vulture tank production, but did bleed out all those Vultures. Ooh, and his CC's on location. Can he hold on to it? He cannot. Barely is delayed. Nice Spider-Mine. Spider-Man goes off. ZaRDieNT, he wants the tank. Oh my god, takes out the tank. Siege mode finally done. Oof. Another Cyclone goes down. Just barely. From here, uThermal, he is holding. Building on more tanks, getting in position. Does get in position. General skirting around the edge. Once again, going for another run by. Unloading the setup here from the Spider Mines. Cyclones, they rally in. Oh my god. Just like the 2 Cyclones go down. 3, oh, they get 1 shot. Oh my god. Spider Mines, they're crazy. 3 Cyclones full. Once again. Oh, he misses the scan. Oh my god. Oh no! Kites back into the spider mines. The minefield is brutal. And uThermal does shut him down. Yes, alas, all these cyclones are going to get surrounded. Nice cleanup. uThermal now overwhelming. Oh! Pushing forward with those tanks. Toss me forward. We just see uThermal kind of zoning the BattleMech army away. He's making his way into the natural. ZaRDieNT, does he counterattack? Does he commit? Oh, catching out the vultures. Yeah, this is a risky maneuver here. The vultures are going to go down. It's going to be a one-way trip. Nice scan, cleans up all the mines, and every vulture is going to fall. Yeah, this was not the play here for uThermal. Does take down 8 SCVs. Denies mining. He will maintain this position. Not bad. Oh, no. Okay, the SCV doesn't trigger the mines. Bear that in mind. I'm hoping that ZaRDieNT is aware. As workers, they do count as floating units. Oh. Oh no! He's being dragged in! Oh my god! Oh no! Massive connections! Every cyclone goes down! Ay, ay, ay. Yeah. It's like, mate. He doesn't know! He doesn't know! Workers don't trigger! Not like this! GG. GG, well played. Terran is broken, pap. Yo, my god, as uThermal, he will come out on top in the TBT. uThermal, he will take the win. GG, well played. To quickly go over it as well, for those that are curious, workers, they count as floating units. They count as units technically hovering above the ground. So workers do not trigger spider mines. Units like workers, air units, of course. I believe Reapers, actually. I think Reapers also count as floating units, so Reapers also don't trigger those spider mines. They're ground sensitive, if you will. I think they don't trigger on other vultures in like Vulture versus Vulture, for example, as vultures also count as hovering or as floating. And GG, well played. With that, uThermal does claim the win. Does it claim the win? Reapers, Archons, yeah, there you go, there you go. Reapers, Archons, there are a couple of key units that count as floating that you can try to use to clear out these minefields, for example, or that I should say that you can't use to bait out mines. As you saw, it did seem like ZaRDieNT was trying to bait out those spider mines with the SCV, and he was hoping that maybe because the SCV was safe, there were no spider mines there, so he just blindly went in and took the mines to the face. GG. And now we are getting ready for our next matchup. And who's up next? Oh, it is going to be the Korean Zerg player, Rumieth. Okay. So up next is going to be a ZVT. Rumieth does step up to the plate. Here we go. Here we go. So we have our map choice. So we do have our map veto. That is going to be Arkanoid. Arkanoid is vetoed by uThermal. And Rumieth, he has chosen Return of the King. For the first time tonight, for the first time this broadcast, we are going to be jumping into Return of the King. It is a map that I'm not too sold on, I'll be honest. Like, there's definitely some crazy features of Return of the King. But we're stepping in. We're stepping into the ring here. We're jumping into our ZVT. Let's go. We go. Arkanoid was ready. I don't think we've actually castled an Arkanoid yet, I'll be honest. But apparently it is in the map pool. But we have never featured it, as it has been vetoed every single time. I have heard Arkanoid is like it's like a pseudo island map, right? Oh my, it looks beautiful. I'm looking at it. Arkanoid. Oh my god, it's like I guess it's I almost said it's similar to I almost said Lost Fantasy. No. Jesus. You know the name of the map. Monty Hall, that's it. I almost said it was similar to Monty Hall, but no. There's just rocks everywhere. Jesus. That's crazy. I want to see it. Someone play on Arkanoid. It's insane. It was popular in teams. Ah, I see, I see. Last rail was in the 4 hours before this event started. There you go. Ah, no. But yeah, Arkanoid is interesting. I've never seen it before. Like, I've never been able to cast on it, so I'm very much so intrigued. I'm intrigued by Arkanoid. We should make Hyper 1 play on it. Oh no. This looks like a Hyper 1 map. One that he would port. Well, now though, could be settling in. We are getting ready for our next game. What's another map that we haven't featured? We haven't featured Neo Arcaner. No, we did feature that. I think we've seen every other map so far. Yeah, we featured all the other maps. Just no Arkanoid. Here we go. You can hear the beeps. You can hear the countdown. It's time for some Lord of the Rings. Oh, let's go. We're going to Middle Earth. We're going back to 2003. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Return of the King, we have the... God, I have to change the names every time. We have the current King of the Hill. We have the red Terran player, the red Broodor Terran. It is uThermal. And spawning in the... Oh. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Green Zerg player, the Blue Zerg. Representing among SE2 people, the SE2 Zerg, it is Rumian. Here we go, and welcome one and all to Return of the King. The end of the trilogy, the end of an era, and the end of the last real Lord of the Rings movie. Smudge. As we do load into a 4-player spawn map. We have bottom right, we have the top right, top left, and bottom left. We have 4-player spawn locations. On top of that, we have a little island as well available to us as a potential 3rd or even 4th expansion. We have our natural base, which is a little bit more secure, which is a little bit more standard, a little bit. But what is crazy to me, and I bring this up every single time, is the triangular 3rd base is covered by these cliff faces, and we have seen many a player attempt and fail and struggle to maintain this position because of just how abusable some of these locations are. Meanwhile, same build. Actually, different variation. I was gonna say same build, 2 racks into stim, but this time uThermal expands, so a different variation. This time uThermal, it looks like a racks in, sorry, it looks like even CC first into 2 more racks, so a more economic variation of this build. I do appreciate it. This may lead into a 3rd racks into stim, or maybe still just 2 racks stim. As we do see a move out, SV is checking top right, Overlord also checks top right as well. Both confirm no one is in position. They are looking for each other. They're searching. Also, before I forget, of course, if you're in the chat, it's Gamma time. It is Gamma time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck. Smurge, you mean smack? That true. That they pronounce it like smouch, right? In the movies, was that meant to be smog? They pronounce it smouge. Gee, Jesus, I forgot about that. That's a deep cut. God. Fun fact: I actually haven't seen those movies, the Hobbit movies. As in, I say plural. I've only seen. I saw the first one. I saw the first one in the cinema, and then I was like, I'm good. I've never seen the second or the third one. I read the book though, like back in the day. I mean, everyone did. It's like a school thing. Everyone read The Hobbit. I think they say it's smout. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they do their own thing. Aye. Avoid them. I felt betrayed. I have no desire to. I'm not like those people where I'm calling out Yaku right now, where like you start watching something and you have to see how it ends. Like, I'm good. I gotta need that. I'd rather cast some Stark. I'd rather cast some Stark after, you know, cast on Return of the King. I'm good. I don't have that desire. As we do have our initial move out. Now, this is going to be a more delayed push. It is going to be 3-Rex Marine with Stim. As uThermal does make his way across the map, Link counterattack does catch a couple of reinforcements, but uThermal, he will commit. Meanwhile, back at home, we do have a Roach defense setup here from Rumiith. So early Roach warrant, a more defensive setup, and with said Roaches, he should be safe, he should be sound. But what about the third base? Again, that third is so isolated from the natural, it's so exposed, and uThermal, he's going for that hatchery. Yeah, the hatchery's under fire. Roaches, they try to respond. The base taking a lot of hits, and I believe the expansion is going to go down. Yeah, that's going to be a kill. That's going to be a kill. No cancel. Massive pickoff. As we mentioned at the start of the game, we've seen many a player attempt and fail to defend this location. uThermal starter steps in, takes out 1, 2, 3, 4 Roaches. Every Roach is going to go down, and Rumiith, he gets punished for attempting to save that expansion. With that, he gets caught off of creep. Another queen goes down as well. Insane pickoffs, insane trades. And uThermal takes a lead. Does take a lead, kills a base, picks off how many? Picks off 5 Roaches, 20 Lings, a queen for 8 Marines. For 8 Marines and a medic. And here comes the second wave. Here comes a second push here from uThermal. And once again, Rumiith, he gets caught down the open. He has to get out of here. Like, what? Get out of here, Bappy. What are we doing out here? The Roaches are going to get picked up for free. Yeah, every single Roach goes down. Massive pickoffs. Ay. Not like this. And this may be over before it really began. Rumiith, he's trying to expand and get a backup third base. This is once again a very exposed location, very exposed expansion. uThermal, does he rotate? Does he check? Does he scout? He does. Yeah, he does. And Rumiith, he will never expand. He will never get, or at least for now, he will never claim his third base. It's going to be denied over and over again. We can see Rumiith trying to catch reinforcements. And this will force uThermal back home. But never mind. Nah, he just goes. He just go for the kill. He just go for the kill at this point. The Roaches, they're out of position. They're not at home to defend. Yeah, there's nothing at home. There's 3 Roaches, a queen. The queens, they try to respond. There's 1 transfuse. Gets into the mineral line. And this is brutal here. Rumiith, he's racing back home. Instead, he's the one that responds. And that's going to be game. That's going to be game, Papi. Ay. Before we can embrace the mid-game here, Rumiith, he just can never expand. Marines, they stim in. They take down Roach after Roach. 31, 34 drone kills. And Rumiith is all in. At this point, Rumiith is all in. He's down to 5 workers. 5 drones remain. It's barely an economy. He's gonna try to re-drone. Yeah, he's gonna try to recover here. Drones are on the way. Rumith moves out. Back at home, we have tanks, we have bio, we have medics. Even unsieged, this army from uThermal can break this. 100%. He can take the fight. Siege finishing up in 10 seconds. And uThermal, he can just fight this head on. He sims in. There's nothing to fear. Oh, the Bile. Bile does connect with one Marine, just the one. And that's all the Rumith had left. That's all he had left. And GG gets called, and uThermal, he will snowball out of control. He will take game number 5. He will claim another win. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, unfortunately, Rumith, he was baited into trying to save the third base. The third base was so isolated, so exposed. So with uThermal's first move out, he didn't just kill the expansion, he also caught the roaches off creep. He caught them off creep, he caught a queen off creep as well, and we saw Rumith attempt to counterattack, and he also lost an extra 4 roaches in the center of the map as well. Just, again, unfortunately, he was caught exposed, he was caught out of position, he was bullied, he was punished for it, and he never recovered. He never got he was never able to establish his third base, never able to stabilize even on 2 bases either. GG. GG, well played. The punish was real, and with that, we are getting into our next game. uThermal, he's on a massive... uThermal's on a massive win streak, and now it's time to revive. We're bringing people back in. The first player to be knocked out of the tournament has returned. Up next is going to be Hyper One's firstborn. Up next is going to be HonMonO. Let's go. We have a TVT. We have a Terran versus Terran. And we'll see if HonMonO can recover. Here we go. Every time it's a mass. It's true. uThermal, he does hate the workers. He does hate them. Ah. Ay. Book is like 100. Yeah. The Hobbit is a very short book. It hit my eyes though. Yeah, if you remember, the first Hobbit movie, I don't know if they continued this, and I don't know if anyone has ever done it since, but they increased the FPS than the usual like 24 frames per second or something. I remember also it being an unpleasant experience just watching it at the time. I don't know if they continued that or anything like that. I remember it was a big deal when they went for that move. But I have never read the Lord of the Rings books. I have heard that they're a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit more of a challenge to get through. Just with how it's written and like the verbiage that is used at times. I mean, I feel like you get a little bit of that in The Hobbit. But I'd love to get around to reading it. Like in general, it's one of those things where I think I've said this before. I used to read quite a lot when I was younger. But nowadays I have a really hard time finding time to read. And I guess that's what it comes down to, is like just setting some time like out of your day to do something like that, whether it's read, whether it's workout, whether it's like going for a walk or something like that. Definitely find a hard time doing that, just because, like, you know, I like being productive, and I typically find something else to do. Like I said this before, but basically whenever I'm not casting, I'm usually like editing VODs or making thumbnails or scheduling, or like I'm always doing something, right? And maybe I have like a show on in the background or something like that, but like I'm always like, you know, I want to be like productive in some way. And finding the time to, like, I don't know, sit and read, it's a little bit more difficult to do. When I was younger, I think it was easier because I would commute, right? I would like often, I don't know, like go on like hour-long train rides, like going to like university or something, right? So it'd be very, because you're like forced to sit in one location on a train, for example, then you're able to, like, you know, read. Otherwise, what are you gonna do? Kind of forced to do that. But anyway, we're getting into our next game. We're getting into our 7th match of the night, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Blue Storm, we do have our red Terran player. We have our our player from the Netherlands, our SC2 Terran, it is uThermal. And spawning in the top right corner, we have the challenger, we have the would-be usurper, opening up 2 ranks, the brutal Terran player for Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. Let's go. Let us go. Once again, uThermal, he's the current king of the hill with 5 wins under his belt. He's had a crazy performance so far. Can anyone stop this man? Can anyone bring him down? Well, if anyone could, it would be this one here. As HonMonO, he's going for the same build, going 2 rack stim. So 2 rack stim out of HonMonO, going for the same build that we have seen time and time again from uThermal. The roles have been reversed. The turns have tabled. uThermal, how does he approach this? I mean, I do like the idea of double gas opener into a faster Hellion, into Hellion Reaper. We saw this from ZaRDieNT, if you remember, on this very map, especially because of the choke point here. I do favor the defender. I do think that ZaRDieNT, he had a little bit of lapse when it came to unit control and unit micro. If you remember, after defending against the first wave, he did overextend and he lost Reapers early on, he lost Hellions early on, and he lost momentum. So I do think that was a bit of a slip up from ZaRDieNT, but overall the initial idea, the initial defense was solid. So once we can build up a decent Hellion count, then these stim timings and these bio move outs can be dealt with quite well. So uThermal, I'm sure he's building up towards that, so that we go CC here in the main. A reactor is about to finish into an add-on swap, I would imagine, into reactored Hellion. Yeah, add-on swap into reactored Hellion is going to be the ideal to roast up some Marines. Here we go. As HonMonO does move out. From here does move out. uThermal, of course, he did spot the move out. He's setting up back at home. Really high res plus 448 FPS. Yeah. That's it. On the mine. He went winter mine. He's crazy. Oh my god. My apologies. I assumed it was going to be Hellion, but the 2 winter mines, nice splits there out of HonMonO. He does avoid the mine shots. uThermal, he's crazy. Takes out the depot. The Hellions will clean this up, and with that, uThermal does hold. uThermal, he does hold on. Again, the mine opener was crazy. Hellions will clean up. And with that, the game will continue here. The Reaper getting so much damage across the map, delays the CC quite heavily. Does force a stim. HonMonO does hold. But uThermal, he will expand. And uThermal, he will have the faster expansion, the greater economy, at least initially. Will have that economic edge behind this, getting to a 1-1-1 into Cloak Banshee. Meanwhile, HonMonO back at home, embracing his bioproduction, yet to switch into mech. Going into an eBay, committing to +1 actually. Commits into +1. Nice split there with the Marines. Trying to avoid splash damage, another stim gets spent, another Marine goes down. And again, HonMonO, he's in trouble here. He's being forced back. 3 Marines left, about to be 4. Another Marine goes down. Oh! Nice target firing. He gets 1. Gets 1 Hellion. Oh god, but there's 5. There's 5 Hellions left. And this might just be too much. With 5 Hellions, honestly, we can break this position. Yeah, uThermal's going for it. Oof. Again, when that 1 Hellion is weakened, does get targeted down. But the Marines, they line up. 2 more Marines fall. Voids are being pulled out. Voids are being pulled into a choke point. Brutal Hellion shots. And with pure Hellion, uThermal, he is overwhelming. And he's also showing how to deal with this build as well, at least in TVT. Which we also kind of mentioned, at least when it came to the initial defense from ZaRDieNT. Looked like he was onto something. The SCVs are falling, mining is being denied. HonMonO is still got 0, that's just no economy, no income. Oh my god. SCVs have to be so careful. The Marine count is building up, and eventually HonMonO, he will break out. So I'm assuming, as we're building up the Hellion count even further, 7 Hellions. Oh my god. The Marines, they line up. And HonMonO, he just cannot hold, he cannot defend. Down to 2 Marines, down to, still 2. Down to 0. Medics left. Ah! Flame Hyper 1. GG. GG, well played. And uThermal, he will take down HonMonO, he will overwhelm, and uThermal claims another win. GG. GG, well played. Oh no. I do apologize as I did forget to open up predictions for the last game. I'll make sure to do the same for the next, or to get it going. But GG, well played. uThermal, he does claim the win. And uThermal, the win streak continues here. Oh my god, 6 wins in a row. Can anyone stop him? Can anyone bring him down? I believe it's time to revive another player. I believe it is time. Who is left? Who is left? I believe we have 2 matches remaining. Could be mistaken. Sorry, 3 matches. 3 matches remaining. And yes, we have our next player. It is going to be uThermal versus threepoint. So we have a couple of revives here. So basically, it typically is going to be 10. It is going to be 10 unique players. But we have run out of players, so we are reviving. HonMonO was revived. I believe threepoint and Green Earth will also be revived as well. If he's available. If threepoint is available. Let's go. uThermal could stay to his own medicine. I mean, kind of. I mean, again, as you saw, this was almost like ZaRDieNT's response, but to the extreme. And again, uThermal, he was very attentive when it came to his kiting, when it came to his control. Mass Hellion can overwhelm these stim-based openers and these stim-based timings. And we saw uThermal completely shut HonMonO down. Very well done. Very well done. Very well played. GG. GG. And we're waiting for our next opponent. Posing them a question. What is better, Paradox or Arkanoid? So you're surprising DMs. Oh no. Oh my. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. That's beautiful. You notice, man. We have our duckified like race logos. Now, I don't know if you noticed, by the way. There's something unique about our race logos, actually. These. So shout out to Avex. Avex, he actually sent us some Duckling color themed Terran, Zerg, and Protoss logos, because we actually have them as you can see here on the screen. We have like the Terran logo next to uThermal. We have the Zerg logo next to threepoint. But yeah, I don't know if you can notice, but we intentionally did add like beaks and flippers. Like for the Terran logo, it's very small, but we actually did add like a duck beak to it because it's meant to be like a bird, and duck feet. For the Zerg logo, we actually added a duck beak as well to make it look kind of like a swan sort of thing. And for the Protoss logo as well, we added like a little there are little duck beaks to them. Let's go. It's small, so it's hard to see, but yes, they're duckified. But oh, I appreciate it. We might be able to add them. Yeah, we might be able to add them to our setups here, for sure. I'll get Kuro on it. I'll get her on it. Speaking of adding it to our overlays and setups, looks like we have a switch up here. So threepoint is scheduled to be the next player, but threepoint is unavailable. So threepoint unfortunately is unavailable. He won't be able to step up. Instead, Greenert will rise to take his place. Up next, we have a TVT between Greenert and uThermal. I say TVT, I do know that Greenert does play Protoss, or if he plays Brood War. So it might be a TVP. We'll see what he goes for. See what he goes for. There you go. As we are going to be loading into our point. Our point is up next. And it looks like we do have our player setting up here. Again, I'm still not entirely certain if Greenert is playing Brood War or SE2. Greenert, he's playing SE2. Okay, good. Greenert, he's playing SE2. Oh. Okay, and Greenert, he's rolling Zerg. Let's go. Does pick Zerg. Not Terran or Protoss. I'm sure he's got some builds ready. I'm sure he's got an all-in ready for us. You don't suddenly switch to Zerg out of nowhere to play macro. No. I'm feeling a Roach all-in or a Bane bus. It's got to be one of the two. It has to be. Bane bust or Roach all-in. Let's go. Show us what you got. How do you feel about the map so far? I don't think I've experienced. I mean, you know my thoughts on Return of the King is crazy. I don't think I'm fond of Return of the King, to be honest. I don't think I've experienced enough of the newer maps yet. I'm very much so on the fence on Arcaner. I'll be honest when it comes to how vulnerable or how thin those mineral walls are. I like Blue Storm, but I'm biased. I do like Blue Storm. There we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of our point, we have the Canadian, now Zerg player. The Canadian Zerg player, oh, representing Born Gosu, it is Greenert. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Brood War Terran from the land of the Netherlands, the current king of the hill. It is uThermal. With 6 wins under his belt. Crazy, Bobby, crazy. He's almost won every single game in this King of the Hill. It's been an impressive performance so far. Very impressive, and we'll see if we can keep this run going. Meanwhile, from the side of Greenert, I'm expecting an all-in. Like, again, you do not pick Zerg out of nowhere for no reason. I'm expecting aggression as we do load into our point. This is another map that I'm very unfamiliar with. I haven't seen too much on it. So my perspective or my opinion has yet to be completely formulated. Oh my god, as we're just spamming the in-game chat. Aye. Wait a minute. Hello. I didn't even notice this. Do we have islands? We have center island bases. I didn't even notice, but yeah, I just realized we have these center bases that can only be accessed here from drop play, for example, or Nidus worms, or I guess you can punish these bases with tanks, with these cliff faces, with getting within range. But there you go. Yeah, again, I've barely been able to like embrace some of these newer maps, like our point, for example. Meanwhile, same build. Same build is going to be 2 racks into stim from the side of uThermal. Should not be a surprise. He has done the same build or a variation of this build in every game so far. Just opening up 2 racks stim. Overlord goes down. Alas, Green Earth does at least confirm the location of his opponent. And Green Earth, he stays in gas. Okay, big moment here. He stays in gas. It should be for roaches. It should be for roaches, for a roach warren, for a roach rush. I say should be. Technically, this could also be, I guess, like a baneling nest and like a bane bust as well. But we expect one or the other. Again, you don't mind this much gas for no reason. Oh, the army is spotted. What are we going for? Army is spotted. Lings are amassing. Spine crawlers on the way. I'm hoping we didn't just stay in gas just to stay in gas, as we're building up quite a lot of it. Oh, as I'm not too convinced here by the defense. I mean, we have 2 queens at least, so 2 queens in position. Lings are amassing. Thermal does him in. He wants a queen. No transfuse. Nice kiting so far. Lings, they do melt. They get targeted down. Spine cooler's not done, and oh god, before we can even embrace whatever the gas is going to be for, the spine cooler falls, the queens are going down, and uThermal, he does it. He breaks through. He has broken Green Earth. He gets across the map. He does wreak havoc. The boys are going to be pulled, but across the map, there's nothing. There's nothing to defend. The spine cooler went down. The queens went down, and uThermal, he has broken his opponent. Yeah, the expansion's going to go down. There's no saving the natural. There's no saving this base. Rumeath had the better idea. If you remember, Rumeath, he did open roaches, did defend against the first wave, at least at the natural. That's still at the third. But with that, Green Earth, he's now stuck on a 1-base setup. And he's got 300 gas. There it is. Now it's the baneling nest. He's going for an all-in. I mean, he's forced into an all-in. There's no way to macro out of this. Green Earth, he's going for a bane bust. It's all or nothing. Marines do get surrounded. Not bad. Lings, they clean up the buy. They clean up the medics. Uh-oh. Back at home, uThermal in trouble. He has to pull back. Boys being pulled away. Very nice choke point. And uThermal, he will hold the line. Oh, he locks him in! No, he locks him in! No shot. The whole position micro. The Lings, they can't leave. They cannot escape. Every single Ling goes down. Oh my god. Bappy, uThermal, calm down. He's cracked. Very nice setup there. Very nice surround. As he locked in the Lings. Ah, you thought I was locked in with you. You're locked in with me, Bap. You're locked in with, not like this. You're locked in with a man with gun. And uThermal, he's in a beautiful position. He's up 20 workers. Building up Marines, medics, Greener back at home. He's trying to re-drone, trying to re-expand. The initial plan to go for the main bus is not going to come to fruition. He just doesn't have enough Lings. He does not have enough. Crazy. I'm dreaming of dark. If only, if only. We need to get Shin to play in one of these. We need Shin back in the King of the Hills. Meanwhile, uThermal is going to be reinforcing with Fire Bats. Fire Bats are going to be stepping into the ring. It's going to be amazing against all things Zerg. Oh, Hyper One. He's saying Tesagi. Isn't that right, the STC? Oh, Kimi wants to play. Maybe say waddle in. To waddle in. Oof. Nice splits here, nice spread from uThermal. He shuts down the Ling Bane. And the Banes, they will do nothing here. uThermal shuts it down, keeps on pushing. Fire Bats have arrived. And again, like, with Greener, he was already broken earlier. He's trying to hold on to his main base at least. Queen gets caught. Natural's gonna go down. And again, Hyper One, he called out for some help, for someone to stop the raid, the reign of terror that is uThermal. And Kiwin has answered the call. Ah. Is he the hero we need? Is he the hero we deserve? What has the world come to where we have to rely on Kiwin? Ah, let's go. Lot of love to Kiwin, lot of love. I'll just always remember his streams. Very chaotic, very interesting streams to say the least. Let's go. As uThermal making his way in. And GG gets called. Green Arch is broken, and uThermal, he will take down Green Arch, claiming another win. GG. GG, well played. uThermal, he will claim another win. Did I forget the... God damn. Next time. But GG, well played. uThermal, he will claim another win. uThermal, he now is on a, what, 7-game win streak. You're crazy. Is up to 7. And it looks like Kiwian has stepped up. For those that are curious, Kiwian, aka Top, is a Korean Terran player. Nowadays, he's more of a streamer and caster. He's been casting a lot of StarCraft Evolution, and I believe he's also one of the main sponsors. For StarCraft Evolution as well. He's got a lot of love for the game state, a lot of love for the game, and also a strong competitor as well, of course. And I'll be honest, as Kiwian steps in, I think I rate him quite highly. Do I rate Kiwian above HonMonO? That I'm less certain of. I think so. I think when I think of the hierarchy of Korean Terrans in StarCraft Evolution, I think I have Quanta as number 1 and probably Kiwian as number 2. But at the same time, I also have rarely casted Kiwian. Like what I take into consideration when I think of Kiwian's play in StarCraft Evolution is the StarCraft Evolution League in December. But it's been months, right? It's been months since I've properly casted Kiwian, so I'm curious if he has improved since then. I'm curious if he's been playing much. I know he's been casting, of course, but I don't know how much he's been playing. So I have a hard time really placing Kiwian and figuring out like how strong he is and his state of play. So we'll see. We shall see. I think Kiwian is above HonMonO, but it's close, and Kiwian isn't always practicing competitively. Yeah, that's what I mean, right? Like, again, like, when I think of Kiwian, I remember his run in StarCraft Evolution League 4, the 4 championship that was back in December. It's been a long time since then, right? Like, I very rarely casted Kiwian since then. So, so I don't know, like, what his state of play is, really. I know he does a lot of casting. I know he observes and watches a lot of the game. He was also playing on R-Port last night, but looked pretty decent. STC also plays pretty well. Yeah, like STC is another one that that rarely competes, right? Like he plays in an event like every now and then. Well, like not as regularly, right? So like I don't know how to like compare the STC to like HonMonO, for example. That I'm like more murky on STC's level. Unironically, I think Nada is probably the best Korean Evo player. He just doesn't compete. I didn't get to see Nada in the Chijik show match. I don't know if you watched those VODs. I need to get around to watching those VODs. But for those that are curious, there was a Chijik show match with Crank, JYP, Nada, and Kiwian, where Crank and JYP, they were on Team VTuber. They had like a team of Korean VTubers, and Nada and Kiwian had a team of Korean just regular streamers. They like duked it out in like a team league format. I haven't watched those games yet, but I want to get around to it. This was like last week. But I was pleasantly surprised to see JYP again. He's, I guess he's back from the military. He's back. I watched the VODs of the show matches. I also watched all the practice and Chijik stream VODs. Oh, let's go. How was the practice? I'm curious. Like, I imagine that would have been peak content for like Korean viewers. Like, I'm just imagining like Nada. I imagine like Kiwin like yelling at the other streamers about what to do. Like, I'm sure they were nice about it, of course, but like teaching the other streamers like how to play StarCraft Evolution, mentoring them even. But here we go, we're getting to our next game. We are once again loading into Return of the King, as spawning in the top right-hand corner of Return of the King, we have the current King of the Hill, the SE2 Terran player from Land of the Netherlands, with 7 wins under his belt. His reign of terror continues. Can anyone bring him down? He's unstoppable. He is uThermal. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. I should switch this up actually, my apologies. Top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran, the Brood War Terran himself. It is a Kiwian. Let's go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamma time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. I do apologize for not having predictions open for the past 2 games, but now they are here. They are ready, and we are stepping on into the ring. I do think that Kiwian is maybe the strongest competitor that is now facing off against uThermal. uThermal, he's warmed up. He's ready to go. Hopefully, he's not fatigued. Hopefully, his stamina hasn't been drained, as he's now up against the top himself. Let's go. Do have our SCV Scout towards left-hand side. Kiwian, of course, going to be embracing Brood War Terran. That's what he does best. Opening up a double gas, going for a faster factory. So factory before CC. More of an aggressive start here from Kiwian. Meanwhile, we see uThermal scouting, checks bottom left, does not find his opponent. Bearing in mind this is a 4-player small map, so we are looking for our opponent here. Likewise, Kiwian scouts bottom right. So Kiwian, he will find uThermal. uThermal, he will find his opponent late. uThermal also going for a double gas opener, racks into factory. So we have mirrored builds so far. Factory openers for both players. Reaper dips in. Reaper will snipe. Double suffering during the practices was hilarious. I mean, he was suffering, but I guess it paid off, right? Like, Kiwian's team or Nada's team did win. They did win. I'm most curious as to how JYP was looking, because, of course, JYP even before military, like, he was not playing. He was casting. Remember, he was casting GSL alongside like Castor Park and Gisado. So JYP, it's been a while since he's like properly competed. So yeah, I'm curious how he looked, and I'm curious if he has expressed interest in continuing to compete. Like I don't know if he wants to be a streamer, a player, a caster. Like I don't know what's next for JYP. Like that's what I'm curious by. I like JYP. The strategic event was very successful. I imagine so, right? Like, I mean, basically, it's like a streamer showdown, right? Like, it's like a streamer bash, or I guess the Western equivalent would be like Twitch Rivals. I guess like Twitch Rivals is also like the streamers will play against each other, like in like a marathon game thingy. It's kind of like that, right? So I'm sure it brings together a lot of people, like a lot of fans. I mean, it brought together the VTuber audience. True. Yeah. But here we go. We do have Mech on the way here from Kiwian. So again, it was the initial factory-based opener into Mech, into Vulture, into Siege Tanks. Meanwhile, across the map, we do have uThermal opening up 1-1-1, taking his own natural base. No clear indication yet as to how he wants to open up, but he does actually open up with a Cyclone drop. Okay, Cyclones, they load up, they move out. The drop is spotted here by the... I almost said Overlord, by the spotting racks. As he moves out, Vultures, they try to dip in, they trade with the Marines, they set up some Spider Mines here outside of the natural, but no major damage. uThermal does defend. Makes his way to the mineral line. We have Spider-Man sitting up defensively. Cyclones, they drop in. Cyclones, they drop in. Oh! Going for the tank. They do get some decent damage, but last force to pick up. And limited anti-air from the blue Terran from Kiwi, and so uThermal will escape. And nice pickups here. Very nice control. Gets a Marine, gets a Vulture. uThermal pulls away. And behind this uThermal, we've seen this before. He's going into tank, into Banshee. I would not be surprised if we see a second starport. We saw this previously here in the broadcast. So we'll keep an eye on him. But now checks the island. Checks the bases. Again, no anti-air. So the medevac just has free reign. Boosting away. Does confirm the mass mech. Oh, ooh, bit of miscontrol there. One cyclone goes down. uThermal pulls away. Now back at home, what's it going to be? Bio, not mech? Okay. So not mech, it's going to be bio tank out of uThermal. A much more active, much more mobile style. He's not making it up. He is still making more Banshees, but it is not 2-port Banshee. No second starport, no second factory. We are building up. And likewise, okay, it is still mech. I saw the academy, I was like, oh my god, but I believe you do need the academy for the, I almost said orbital. Comsat station, that's it, for the Comsat station to get into scans. So the armory is a tech prerequisite for some other structures. As Banshees are building up, moving out on the right hand side. Likewise, we do see uThermal going for the island base. And I believe Kiwian should be doing the same. Again, that triangular third looks so difficult to maintain. So I don't expect any player to take this. I expect players to expand horizontally instead of vertically. I guess it'll be easier for Kiwian. Meanwhile, Banshees, they get across the map. Comsat stations are done, but where's the anti-air? SCVs are falling, turrets out of position. Oof. And there's going to be, what, 3-4 SCV kills. Turrets, they will not finish, they will not complete. Goliaths are on the way, but they're late. They're delayed. And with that, 5 or 6 SCV kills. Ay. Scan into the main. Goliaths are being targeted down one after the other. Oh my god. Losing both Goliaths. Getting 7 SCVs, denied mining time, of course. In the end, Kiwian will hold, but this is brutal damage. So much mining time was denied. And with that, uThermal is getting more comfortable. He's getting more comfortable, getting his 3-base economy up and running. Embracing his stim, getting into more tanks, more bio. Momentum is on uThermal's side. And Kiwian, he has to recover. Now, when it comes to his map control, I will say, I mean, look at the minefield. The minefields are crazy here for Kiwian. He has wooden mines all over the place. Now, they don't just deter the army, they don't just delay an army, but they also scout, right? They provide, as you can see here, they provide vision. There's vision all over the place for Kiwian. He sees all, he knows all. Moving out top left. I would imagine going for a ninja expansion, potentially. uThermal moves out, and the move out is going to be spotted by these vultures and by the mines. Oh, as the vultures are going to be cleaned up, they don't kite back. Move out is spotted. Kiwian getting in position, sieging up those tanks. He's going to be on the low ground though, bear that in mind. Again, we spoke about it, but this giant cliff face here is so difficult to deal with as the defending player. And uThermal takes down the Wraith. Moving in. Maintaining map control, containing his opponent. Just look at all the high ground outside of the Natch. It's crazy. It's insane. Having a low ground natural like this. I know that Avex, you asked me to look at one of the more recent ASL maps for something similar to this, and I can't handle it, mate. It's crazy. I haven't looked at it yet. But we do see behind this a force command center on the way. uThermal, he's not moving in. Tank low is going off. Kiwi does shoot first. Doesn't miss the shots. Let's go. Takes out both tanks. Liberators have arrived. We have some freedom. We have some liberation. Now, bearing in mind, uThermal does not have to push into this. He does not have to break this position. All he has to do is contain. Just contain and keep queuing on a lower base count, on a lower economy. Secure this position on the high ground. And then move in. As uThermal is taking a greater expansion. Now moving out with his reinforcements. Taking up second starport on the way, getting to mass liberator. From the side of Kiwian, he is going for his own just mass tank Goliath. Did make a Wraith earlier, but doesn't really have much else anti-air. He has one Valkyrie. He's got one Valkyrie set up. Is this SE1 versus SE2 Terran? Yes. This is StarCraft Evolution. So we have Kiwian playing in Brood War, and we have uThermal playing SE2. Meanwhile, Kiwian, he does sneak out with a couple of vultures. uThermal setting up a Doom Drop. Oh. Kiwian, he's pretty well fortified though. He has a massive ring of turrets. uThermal expanding horizontally. Does expand away from his opponents. Doom Drop coming in. I believe this should be spotted, yep, by the mines. As I mentioned before, they don't just deter an army, but they scout everything he sees, he knows. Yeah, Kiwian, he responds. He's rotating back into the main. Getting ready for the Doom Drop. Fusion course on the way from uThermal. This should be for Liberator range. Getting to Lib range. Still securing himself. Oh! Yeah, there's no way into the main, not against all these Goliaths. But uThermal. Oh, wait, no! Oh my god! He runs into the mines! Does run into the massive connections. Nice catch here from Kiwian. Again, he took down Jesus for a couple of spider mines. He took down 3 tanks, 11 marines. SCVs do go down to the vulture run by. Vulture drop even. Oh my god, 16 workers going to be going down. The vultures, they bust into the pocket onto the island. 20 SCVs go down. The entire mineral line. uThermal out of position. No sentinels, no vision. Even spider mines in the pocket base as well. uThermal tries to respond. Yeah, it does bait out the shots. Forces friendly fire. Does force friendly fire. But a very nice drop here from Kiwian. He breaks out ninja base on the way. So he caught the army, eviscerates the economy. Suddenly, oh my god. Suddenly Kiwian does have the greater economy. But he needs the base. Right? He's oversaturated. He needs an expansion. He needs to transfer. Transfer. uThermal once again scouting for proxies, scouting for ninja bases. Still building up. Kiwian being cheeky here. Does move forward. uThermal trying to maintain. One that goes down. Oh! Gets 2. 2 liberators for 1 Valkyrie. Not a bad trade there from Kiwian. Meanwhile, the ninja base has been found. Kiwian's expansion is denied. And Kiwian, he's running out of money. I say that still has a good amount of workers. Or yeah, there we go. He does transfer. I was a little bit confused. He transfers over. He does need a 4th base. As Kiwian, he breaks out with all these vultures. Going for another massive counterattack. Bottom left, there's a planetary, that is true. But not much else. Does head in. Yeah, setting up more mines. Liberators, they move forward. They catch 2 tanks. 2 tanks going down. Back at home, uThermal, he fully walls up. And Liberation's moving in. The freedom! The tanks are within range. And QN gets caught out. Going to be losing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks. Ay, ay, ay. 5 tanks go down late on siege out of QN. Not paying attention, focusing elsewhere. QN can attempt to surround, but he lost so many tanks. Okay, Liberators there extend. Goliaths, they handle them. You know, Vultures, they bust into the natural. Tank gets surrounded. Vikings as well. And uThermal, does he turn around? Does he turn around? As SCVs are going down, production's being camped. It's going to be 10 SCV kills. Tank will siege, but there are just so many Vultures. And they force their way through. Oh my god. Tank boys are brutal. That's still going to be 13 SCV kills. Did I say 13? 19! Oh my god. 19 SCVs go down. Very nice counterattack. Again, uThermal, he doesn't have control of this ramp. Like, despite the... Like, this isn't really a contain. And here we go. QN, he breaks out. He breaks through. Takes out all the libs. Tanks they siege a little bit late. Once they siege, though, they annihilate the army. Vikings, they come in from behind. Massive land, uThermal with a surround. Yeah, the Vikings, they come in from behind. They shut down the tank line. It's a very messy fight, but it looks like uThermal, he has enough. He barely has enough. He breaks through the siege line. Moving to the mineral line as well. Moving into the natural. Liberators do siege. And QN, he has been broken. He's barely been broken. You can see he's broke. One mineral patch. Oh no. Yeah, he's broke. He has no money. He has no mining. He's down to 0 minerals here at the natural. He cannot rebuild. He cannot build back up. And uThermal still undefeated. He will take down the mineral line. 24 SCVs go down. It was an impressive game here by QN. He had some very nice moments with the drops, with the counterattacks, with the run-bys, with the surrounds. But despite that, he could not break the main army of uThermal. It was close. It was very close. But he was starved out. He just never expanded. Never claimed another base. He tried to, but he failed to. And uThermal. Ay, ay, ay. Just like the VTubers in the Chijik show match, he can't be stopped. Oh god. Cannot be stopped. Let's go. As QN is scanning, just trying to, again, accept the game state. Again, uThermal got away with a planetary on the left, with a 4th base, with a 5th base. QN going for a big tank counterattack. He's coping a little bit, man. He's coping a little bit. He gets found out. He gets found out. Yeah, uThermal does find the tanks. At least he finds some of them. The others actually make their way into the base. So not the best catch there from uThermal. Hoo-woo, hoo-woo, baby, hoo-woo. Tanks to get onto the high ground. Boys are being pulled. Let's go. Gets on top of the tanks. Does not quite force any friendly fire though. Oh, does lock them down. Gets one. Oh, the tanks are gonna be saved. Let's go. The tanks are saved. Ah, but there's just too much liberation. There's too much freedom, baby. Too much freedom. Takes down all the tanks. GG gets pulled with that uThermal. He will take down Kiwi and he will get another win. 8 wins on the board. GG. GG, well played again. Kiwin, he did pose a threat. It was a back and forth, very intense match there between the two players. But at the end of the day, once uThermal got momentum in that game, once he was able to get his contain going, Kiwin, he never really broke out. He was able to go some run-bys, which was very impressive. But Kiwin, he struggled to get a 4th base. He struggled to expand. He could not do so. And with that, he was starved out. He just ran out of money. Ran out of steam. GG. GG, well played. uThermal will claim the win. And we are getting ready for the final best of one of the broadcast. There's one match remaining. Can anyone stop this man? Can anyone stop uThermal? Oh no, can anyone stop him? Ay. TBD. Okay, we have room for one more player. Who's it gonna be? Who's up next? Who is our latest challenger? Looks like we have a player. Oh my god, a player that I'm very unfamiliar with. Here we go, we are getting ready. We have our next opponent, a player that I'm very unfamiliar with here. It is going to be a South Korean Zerg player that I've never casted. Not just any turtle, it is Magic Turtle. Let's go. Let us go. When I think of Magic Turtle, I think of you know, in mythology you have the turtle that's like on fire that's spinning around. Yeah, him. Let's go. I'm ready. Gamera, that's it, Gamera. Let's go. As we are setting up. Now, when it comes to Magic Turtle, I actually have to look him up because I've never casted him before. I've never casted Magic Turtle before. I'm sure he's played in some tournaments in the past. Let me just double check. Oh my god. Wait, what? No. He's playing in SEL King of the Hill. I believe this is his first event. At least his first Wikipedia tournament. Okay. His first tournament on Wikipedia. So, yeah, not too familiar with him whatsoever. Apparently he played in the Chijik Cup back in July. Okay. So Hyper One is letting me know that he played back in the Chijik tournament, and he hasn't really played too much since then from what he knows. We should call this tournament format uThermal King of the Hill. There's no other king. Technically, there is one other king, technically, and that is threepoint, right? Threepoint, he was the original King of the Hill today, and uThermal did claim it from him. And apparently, so Magic Turtle, he beat Mini, the Brutal Protoss, but then he lost to MC in threepoint barely. Interesting. So, yeah, a player that I've never encountered before, but, you know, apparently he has his history in some previous StarCraft Evolution tournaments. Let's go. Let's see what he looks like. Here we go. Oh my god, it's live VIP with the steel chair. Oh my god. He stepped into the ring. And he's not alone. Hyper One jumps in as well with the 619. We come in with the 2v1. Let's go. Let's go. There's a few parts where Kiwi was close to winning. Yeah, for sure. Kind of hard to find an answer to Libs as a brutal terror. I mean, a lot of it also came down to, as we tried to emphasize the economy, right? Like, because Kiwian was being starved out, like, because he had a lower economy, he had a harder time trying to deal with that army of uThermal. With that siege position. The map doesn't help either. Yo, I'm gonna bring it back to the map. Remember, because of all that high ground outside of the natural of Kiwian, he couldn't, it makes it even more difficult to break out as well, right? Pushing up ramp, up into high ground, into tanks, and into liberators as well. It was just a brutal position there for Kiwian. And we make our way into the final best of one of the broadcast. We do enter our point. Let's go. Let's go. There's no stopping the power of God in anime. Oh no. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of our point, we have... Okay, we have to rename everyone. We have the South Korean Zerg player, a player that I'm very unfamiliar with, but I'm ready to be introduced. So we have the South Korean Zerg, the SE2 Zerg. It is Magic Turtle. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the current King of the Hill with 8 wins under his belt. Can he go for all 9 out of 10? Current King, the brutal Terran player, it is uThermal. Let's go, let's go. We have our TVZ, uThermal going CC first. CC first here in game number 9, or game number 10, I should say. He's going CC first, going for a more economic start. Again, uThermal, he has been known for the non-stop 2-rack stim timings, but we have seen some variations. If you remember, I believe he went for a more delayed 2-rack stim earlier in the broadcast, at least once before, and likewise, it looks like the same build here once again. So CC first, into 2-racks, into an academy, into stim is what I'm leaning towards. Show us the second racks. Up. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so 2-rack. So 2-rack stim here from uThermal, a little bit more delayed than usual. Meanwhile, we do see that we are searching for the expansions. We're searching for the spawn locations. We do have a drone scout bottom left, overlord scout top right, and eventually Magic Turtle will find uThermal. We'll find him. Meanwhile, it's going to be a hatch gas pool, standard opener out of our Zerg player. SEV scout coming in. uThermal, he will confirm the positioning and the direction, the trajectory of the Overlord, and he will determine the location of Magic Turtle. So far, so good. Does find him. It's Terrell's alt account. Mark going to get wrecked. Oh no. Oh no. I don't think Cyril has played Brutal, unfortunately. uThermal, was he born when Brutal was did he play Brutal as a child? Was he born afterwards? How young is Cyril? I think it's fine. I think that Portal series is painting Cyril in a different light. I'm still blown away. For those that don't know, Cyril and Raynor, they're releasing videos on a regular basis of them playing Portal together. And Raynor, he had never heard of Portal before, and I was like, what? Like Raynor's, he's a baby. He's such a child. He doesn't know. He was born after Portal. Smooch. Feels old, man. Feels old. But they've been playing Portal together, so do you recommend some shenanigans of old man Cyril trying to teach Raynor how to throw down some portals? We have additional SV scouts. Meanwhile, hidden Baneliness. Hidden Baneliness in the main base here of our Zerg player. This does look like a Bane bust. We have a third base on the way, but I believe that's going to be a third base just for Larva. So insanely fast nest into Ling Bane, into a bust. Meanwhile, back at home, uThermal, remember, it was 2-racks into a stim timing. The army is moving out, and we'll see if uThermal can split well against what's waiting for him, against the Ling Bane. From here, Magic Turtle can defend and then counterattack. For now, though, he's massing up Lings. Lair is on the way. Okay. Interesting setup. So early Baneliness into early Lair. This is quite expensive. We are lacking gas because of that. We have 2 Banelings on the way. I am concerned for Magic Turtle. I'll be honest, I'm not too convinced by this defense. He's been quite greedy, tech-wise, I mean. They're going to be 3 Banelings, but they're going to be slow Banes. uThermal, does he go for the natural? Does he go for the third base? Where's he headed? Where's he going? Going for the third. Going for the third expansion. Magic Turtle setting up here for the surround. He's got those 3 Banelings. He's waddling in. How good is target firing? So far, good start stepping here by uThermal. He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets all 3, and that's it. That's all 3 Banelings. The base is going to go down. Again, we had a greedy response here by Magic Turtle. The base will fall. And Magic Turtle, he's in trouble. And he just doesn't have enough. I mean, the damage has already been done. from here, uThermal, he expands, getting a third TC, fully saturated, moving in. Now uThermal, he doesn't have to push onto creep. He's already done the damage. He's already in a good position. He does not have to keep going. Like, containing is already ideal. Meanwhile, the lair is done. Wait, oh, the lair is done. And we're going for an infestation pit. What is happening? 2-base swarm host? Question mark? It's not going to be 2-base infester. That'd be crazy. Okay. Okay. I mean, this is just an insanely fast infestation pit is what's catching me off guard. Remember, this was like a 4-minute lair. So we're setting up with swarm hosts, I would imagine. Like, that makes the most sense in my mind, but we'll see. uThermal takes down the tumor. Again, he doesn't have to push in. There's no need. Okay, infestors. Okay. So it's gonna be 2-base infestor here for Magic Turtle. It's just quite expensive. It's just a very expensive tech choice this early on, but I guess it's an answer, kind of. Really nice pre-spread here by uThermal. Very nice spread. Did I open predictions? Oh, not quite. Sorry, my apologies. I was just engrossed. God damn. And here we go. We do see Magic Turtle does break out. Lands a couple of fungals. He does clean up the army. Not a bad engage here. Oh no! We'll lose an infestor. We'll lose an infestor. Alas, Firebats a rally across the map. uThermal, he's not done. Firebats, unfortunately, they were a little bit late to the party. But they do clean up. They do catch a queen. Queen goes down. Firebats, they stroll in. Oh my god, the Lings, they just melt. They get roasted. And he's done it. He has done it. He has done it. Yeah. Predictions were a little bit late, I fully understand. GG gets called, uThermal, he breaks on through, and uThermal, he will take the win. He will be this week's King of the Hill. GG. GG, well played. uThermal, he will claim the win here. He will be our final king. Congratulations. Congratulations here. Again, uThermal winning at 9 games in a row. Very impressive run, very impressive performance. It was a crazy build out of Magic Turtle. Really early Baneling Nest. It was like a 3-minute Baneling Nest, maybe 3:30. I think maybe a little bit earlier than that, but the early Baneling Nest out of Magic Turtle, so I assumed it was a Bane bust, but then we had Baneling Nest into a lair, which really caught me off guard. A really quirky build out of Magic Turtle. Unfortunately, it meant that he spent most of his gas on the lair, so he didn't really have many Banelings to defend, and with only 3 Banelings, they just got targeted, right? They just got targeted then and there. Likewise, he was out of position. He was not in position to protect his 3rd base. He got shut down. He got pulled apart, caught off of creep. GG, well played. uThermal will take the win. He will take the win. And with that, let's catch up on the bracket and figure out and catch up on all the matches here of the broadcast. Let's go. Let us go. Are catching up on the broadcast. Bam! There we go. We got you covered here. As we did have our 10 matches here again with our King of the Hill style format. We had threepoint. Threepoint, he was the original king, as threepoint took down HonMonO 1-0, and that led into uThermal, the beginning of the end. uThermal took down threepoint, it took down Greenert, Prome, ZaRDieNT, Rumieth, HonMonO, Greenert, Killian, and Magic Turtle towards the end. 9 wins in a row. uThermal, he was unstoppable. Now, there were some moments here where uThermal was struggling a little bit, where we had some competition. I'm thinking of ZaRDieNT. ZaRDieNT, he had a strong start against uThermal, if you recall. Likewise, Kiwian as well also had a strong start. So Kiwian and ZaRDieNT in the TVTs definitely had some promising performances against uThermal. Even Prome, if I remember correctly, was this on Yeah, Neo Arcaner. Yeah, even Prome. If you remember, Prome, he was in a better position. I would even say Prome may have been in a better position than Kiwian. Like, Prome had a very strong start. For those that forget, Prome, he was containing uThermal on 2 bases. uThermal, he failed his initial committed build. Prome was in a better position, but then Prome, he overextended. And that was also the game where uThermal, he got 44 probe kills. He snuck out with 10. He was so far behind. He was so far behind uThermal. He was down in army, down in economy, down in bases, down in tech, down in everything. And then he snuck out with 10 vultures. And those 10 vultures won him the game. They killed over 40 workers. It was insane just how much damage uThermal achieved in that game against Prome. It was crazy. Speaking of uThermal, papi guy, oh my god, uThermal, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much. I hope you had a great stream. I hope you had a great ladder session leading into your tournament run. For those that are curious, we were just casting the StarCraft Evolution League King of the Hill, just going over some of the matches. And again, uThermal, he is this week's King of the Hill. GG, well played. Well, we're wrapping up though, Pat. I appreciate the raid. I appreciate the raid, but we just finished the cast. There's no more games. God damn it. uThermal. GG, well played. But with that, uThermal, he did claim the win. Again, there were some good challengers like Prome, like ZaRDieNT, like Kiwian, but all these other matches here were very much so dominant by uThermal. GG, well played, and we look forward to seeing more of uThermal in the future. Likewise, when it comes to more StarCraft Evolution action, I believe there's going to be another StarCraft Evolution League King of the Hill later on this evening. We will not be casting it live. Checking out our schedule, bam. When it comes to our schedule, up next is going to be the Sparkling Tuna Cup. We're going to be live once again at 7 p.m. KST. That's going to be 9 p.m. AEST. That will be in around 6 hours. So in 6 hours time, we're going to be back. We're going to be live once again with Sparkling Tuna Cup. If you're curious, what is the Sparkling Tuna Cup? That is our weekly open tournament, weekly open StarCraft 2 tournament, not Evolution, but StarCraft 2, open to all regions, all shapes, all sizes. We have regulars like Solar, like Skillus, Björn, Bunny, Creator, Geralt, Christianer, and many others. There are typical regulars for our open cups, so you can tune in if you wish. And again, if you want to help support the CranKy Ducklings, you can do so via Patreon. 100% of the money on Patreon goes towards our tournaments like Sparkling Tuna Cup, Sea Duckling Open, and Master Swan Open as well. So it's all funded via the Patreon. You can see our Patreon goal under the schedule. We currently do earn 436 USD a month, so thank you so much to all of our patrons. We do greatly appreciate your support, and our next goal is at 500 USD. So thank you so much for all the support to all our patrons. Thank you so much to all of our subscribers on Twitch, to our members on YouTube. Thank you so much for all the support, as you're able to support the scene and StarCraft and the players and the community via that Patreon. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Again, we're wrapping up. We just wrapped up our second broadcast of the day. We were live earlier with the Hatchery Cup, then King of the Hill, and of course tonight is Sparkling Tuna Cup as well. If you're interested in more King of the Hill, more StarCraft Evolution content, tomorrow we're going to be live in less than 24 hours, just under 24 hours. We're going to be live with the StarCraft Evolution League number 9. That is an event that actually took place a couple of hours ago, but we were casting the Hatchery Cup instead. So we were otherwise busy covering another tournament, so we're going to be going over the SEL number 9 replays tomorrow. Going to be covering that tomorrow for those that are interested. Likewise, when it comes to tonight's next King of the Hill, SEL King of the Hill number 4, we will also find some time to cast those replays, most likely over the weekend. Maybe or next week. Like, our schedule is quite busy. As you can see, our schedule is very busy. We do cast multiple times a day, every single day. Plenty of content, plenty of casting, plenty of StarCraft here on the CranKy Ducklings. If you want to tune into more of the Ducklings, and if you cannot watch some of this live, if you see something that you like, and if it's at a bad time zone, then of course YouTube is the place to be. Exclamation mark YouTube in the chat, and we do upload to YouTube on a daily basis, so there's plenty of content. We cast more than any other channel out there, more than Wardy, more than Steadfast, more than anyone else. We have all the casting, all the content, we have the quantity, and we have a little bit of the quality as well. A little bit, Pappy, a little bit. All the StarCraft. Just catching up. Thanks for playing uThermal. Yes, yes. Big shout out to uThermal. Big shout outs. uThermal. Salsa tequila. Oh. Some of the best quality, actually. Oh, thank you, Poppy. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. We do what we can. We do what we can. I'm probably going to go and just edit VODs. I'm going to go edit VODs and schedule and get ready for the rest of the week. There's a lot of content to catch up on. Live VIP loves SE2 more than any other caster combined. Oh, thank you for the kind words, my contact. Thank you. Do appreciate it. But yes, with that, we're wrapping up. We're wrapping up for the time being. Again, we're going to be back in 6 hours. 6 hours time, more StarCraft here on the channel. As always, here on the CranKy Ducklings. And tomorrow we'll be back with more StarCraft Evolution. That'll be in like 19 hours. In around 19 hours time, we'll be back with StarCraft Evolution League number 9. And of course, plenty of other content. We have the Enki Pro series on Tuesday. We have the Big Star on Monday on Tuesday. We have Wardy TV Monday. We have Code for Giants Cup, Turtle Tussle, the Pondcast, HSL, Kung Fu Cup. Plenty of content on the horizon. There's definitely some there's definitely like a shroud of ambiguity, or like a, yeah, it's definitely going to be a challenging year. I'm sure uThermal's spoken on it. I'm sure everyone has spoken on it. We spoke on it yesterday as well. It's going to be a very challenging year here if you're a StarCraft fan. 2025 for everyone involved, whether you're a fan, whether you're a content creator, whether you're a player as well. But as always, we'll put in as much work as we can, right? We'll put in the work, we'll put in the effort, and yeah, we'll do what we can when it comes to StarCraft, as always, when it comes to hosting our events, when it comes to running tournaments, and casting as much as we can as well. When it comes to the future of StarCraft, it's still a little bit uncertain, and it's hard to say. There's definitely potential for community-run and grassroots initiatives. I know that uThermal has spoken on it as well, how, for example, uThermal's 2v2 circuit, all funded via Patreon, via the community. It's all done via Patreon, all done by, you know, fans of StarCraft, by his audience. And there's potential to maybe even run other leagues or other events. I'm sure that's the case for other content creators as well. Another good example is Pig. Like, the Pigsty Festival was funded by the community, and I believe Pigsty Festival number 6 is also on the horizon as well, also funded by the community. We have our tournaments, which is funded via Patreon. KSL, also funded via Patreon. Wardy TV seasonal events, also funded via Patreon. Like, there's a lot of tournaments already that are like grassroots. But you know, 2025 again is going to be us like trying to maybe even step up and increase that even further. We'll see what happens. There's definitely some talks behind the scenes of maybe trying to do something greater together. I know that Wax spoke about the potential of maybe like merging some events and trying to make something bigger and something more sustainable. We'll see. A lot of it does rely on like certain casters and content creators like collaborating in some way. There needs to be like definitely interest in doing that though from said collaborators and content creators as well, to like join up and to work together to maybe do something greater. Yeah, we'll see. I guess we do have some time to try to figure that stuff out, but regardless, it's going to be a challenging year, but we're here to rise to the challenge, Pack. We're always here to rise to the challenge. We'll do what we can, and yeah, look forward to it. Do look forward to it here. Again, EWC on the horizon as well. Plenty of StarCraft, plenty of content. We'll do what we can. Do what we can. Oh. First win the bingo. True. Oh. But yeah, with that, we're going to be wrapping up. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. Big shout out to uThermal for being the king of the hill, and for also the raid as well. Gracias, papi, gracias. Do appreciate it. And with that, we'll see you guys in 6 hours or tomorrow for some more StarCraft action. Let's quickly have a look here. We'll find someone to raid and just send everyone over to. Until then, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Till then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.